All right. Look at that. From Vigo Mortensen to our special guest today. This is Torn Tuesday, your weekly dose of all things Lord of the Rings and Tolkien. And your host with the most, the all
Oh
man
my
bad
goodness.
about you know what? Take it away, Cliff.
Although he's a Renaissance man. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the bon vivant, man about town. Thank you, Justin. I know what you're trying to say, and you almost got there. It was almost there, but thank you for the gracious introduction. What could I do without you, the man helping us produce and run this live stream show? Because, yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another live. Here you are in the organic moment. Yes, a live show that we call Torn Tuesday, affectionately named after the OneRing.net, the world's largest ongoing all volunteer web portal for fans of J.R.R. Tolkien. Lovely to have you all here. Welcome. Live folks are coming to us right now from Instagram and the Twitch and the Twitter and the X and the Twatter book and the Bookface and all these places where everyone's coming to join us. It's exciting because we have with us the author of the extraordinary new book Into the Heart of Middle Earth. We have Caitlin with us here. Caitlin Fascista, who is very well known throughout the online universe of Tolkien fans as Tea with Tolkien. And we're doing it right. We just had Manu Bennett here interviewing him. It was a lovely interview. And now we're going to have an even better, fun interview. In the later portion of our program, we're going to take you into a conversation about March Madness, the crazy competitive bracket that we run as a fun thing, a fun project every year. And then we'll also talk about WonderCon, which is just a few days away. Welcome to the show, Caitlin. And we also have, who else with us? Another extra special surprise from the Happy Hobbit, who's one of our favorite YouTubers and author, fantasy Arthur K.M. Rice. It's Kelly Rice joining us right now, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, live on the interwebs. Oh my gosh.
That's awesome. I feel like you would be a great like a trailer narrator because you're like
Yes.
hyping it up so
I would
intensely.
love to be a trailer narrator.
Yeah.
You know who I really am, though? It's all based on growing up watching Kermit the Frog. And I was
Oh,
that child in the mid 70s watching The Muppet Show. And who was the best master of ceremonies of all? Who was it who managed to wrangle the crazy pants of the show, make the show work no matter what? Then he was kind of flustered, but he managed to be charming and he managed to be straightforward with the audience and he got the job done. Always trustworthy. Kermit. That's where I learned everything I learned about being an MC was from that guy. It ain't easy being green. Thank
Sometimes
you. I
feel like
appreciate
I'm
that.
talking to a sock puppet too. So, um,
Yes, 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 of
well,
course.
we got three authors right now on your screen. I'm not one of them because Kelly Rice is the author of this big old book. Caitlin got that book Cliff just held up, and Cliff was the co-author of People's Guide to J.R.R. Tolkien. So I have nothing much to add to this conversation. You authors talk amongst yourselves.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Look, Justin, you're so cute. Of course you have things to contribute. But my first thing that I want to ask Miss T with Tolkien, how does it feel? How many days out are you now from the birth of this baby? How many days out are you now? How does it feel?
It's been about a month and 4 days, I guess.
Oh my
It came
gosh.
out on February 20th, so it's been crazy. It
Yeah.
doesn't feel real, I guess. It's still because it's like everything's just on the internet now. So like my own life is exactly the same as it was before. So it's weird, but it's awesome.
It is awesome. I love it. I love this book, and I love the fact that, and I'm going to tell some of the people at home a little bit about it for just a quick minute. My impressions. It is, it is through the lens of faith that we're learning some remarkable new things about the power of Tolkien's narrative, his spiritual reasons for writing the narrative the way that it was, but most fun and most useful, really, is well, here we are with that wonderful word, applicability.
Yeah.
And that's something that Professor Tolkien always preferred over, direct, analogies to anything. But when you write this book And when I read it, I get to the part where you say very clearly, this is how it's applicable to your life. This might have been the situation that happened with Frodo and Sam. This was a situation when Professor Tolkien was an orphan when he was growing up. But this is such a spiritually informed book. It is so beautiful because at the end of every little chapter, you have a way of helping people find an inroad to taking the lessons of the narrative and finding out where it's applicable in your own life. And Caitlin, my hat is off to you. I mean, there's just
Oh,
great
thank
job
you.
to do that. And it's not easy to do that. And it's fabulous. So I just want to say that my favorite chapter so far has been uh this one about Welcome the Wanderer.
Hmm.
I learned something about the concepts of what Jesus taught very specifically about welcoming the poor and welcoming the destitute and making a space. I was hungry and you fed me. That wonderful quote from Matthew that you use from the
Hmm.
Gospel of Matthew. And it seems to have been lost on a lot of people these days. And it is so, so nice to be reminded with such clarity of thought in your book about how we learn not even if you're raised a Buddhist, even if you're someone else who's Jewish maybe, and you read Professor Tolkien's work, you still are tapping into that vein of understanding the Gospel of Matthew and
Hmm.
how it applies. And then I get this really great stuff that you wrote about uh is it Benedict? Is it Saint
Yeah,
Benedict?
Saint Benedict. Yeah.
I'm so down. I never knew much about the saints, and I never learned much about these different associations with the saints. But now I'm learning fascinating new things because I'm a Methodist. Honest to God, as Protestant as you could get, I was raised and baptized boring, boring, boring Methodist. So I never learned about all the cool pageantry and the cool stuff that you guys have in the Catholic Church. It's just so interesting to me because, and eventually I became an armchair Buddhist. Somewhere down the line, when Maggie Simpson, not Maggie, but Lisa, you guys remember? Remember the storyline when Lisa Simpson gets the whole family upset because she doesn't want to be Christian anymore. She wants to adopt Buddhism. Anybody remember that in The Simpsons? Yeah, well, that is sort of what happened to me along that line somewhere. It's like I'm totally living out that Lisa Simpson plot line. But I'm getting a refresher course in all the fascinating things that combine Christianity and modern Catholicism with what you found in Tolkien, because Tolkien had informed his writing with his own Catholic beliefs everywhere. And it's so clearly laid out. So, you guys, Into the Heart of Middle Earth. It's super good, really delightful, and you can take it in bites as you like to go along. So, I'm really enjoying this. But I don't know. I mean, Caitlin, how did it all come to you to put it together this way? I've got to ask up front. How did you figure out
Yeah.
that this was the method of weaving it all together?
Well, I really wanted the story or the journey of the reader to follow in Frodo's kind of vague, it's not exactly modeled after his journey, but it does kind of follow. So the first two, I think, chapters kind of talk a little bit more about Bilbo. So it's like you're getting into Middle Earth. We're talking about the Hobbit. Something Tookish is waking up inside of him. He's got to go out. He's got to embrace both sides of him, his own, heritage and his being. And he's got to learn all of these adventures along the way, or learn all of these lessons along the way. And then after that, we move into Frodo. So we start talking about, Frodo getting the ring. Frodo's going to start setting out. Frodo's gonna, start going through some terrible things. And then Frodo eventually kind of, it follows the journey of the hobbits as we're going through the books. And that's kind of the way I wanted to format the book. You're journeying alongside Tolkien's heroes along the way as you're learning about your own self while you're reading.
Fascinating. It works. It works very well. And how cute that the wondering.net gets a quick little mention. Like
Yeah.
you have like look
Yeah,
at
you
these
guys
great
are in the back,
resources.
right?
Right in the back, there's acknowledgments and resources and like some other interesting online websites. And there's also like, oh, named, what's this you just dropped? Oh, it's a name. Oh, it's really so cute to be mentioned like that, and it's really really sweet. But you've managed to put in, and these three foundational principles. Okay, T. Oh my gosh, this is so like you really crystallized it for people. The eucatastrophe, you get these ideas primarily to um, let people have a clearer and immediate understanding of Professor Tolkien's essay on fairy stories. And you write about the true myth and subcreation and the concept of all of us being subcreators in a way to honor the greater creator, which is what Tolkien did. I I'm just a lot of people who haven't been able to dial in to a lot of these understandings and the metaphysical underpinnings of what Tolkien was doing. They're going to have a great refresher course in all of that with your book. And I think it's delightfully successful. Really.
Thank you. Yeah, it
Well
was
done.
fun because that part was supposed to be originally it was in the introduction to the book because I felt like those three principles are really foundational to when you're talking about Tolkien and you
Yep.
really need to like have at least a basic grasp on them before we go into the journey. But then the intro was like 20,000 words long, and so we ended up moving them to an appendix. And then I was like so excited because I was like, "Oh, I'm just like Tolkien. My book has appendices." So that was very fun.
Well done. Kelly, have you had a chance to see anything in this fun book yet?
Oh yeah. And so
Tell me.
one
What do you think?
part that I didn't know going in was that I'm just going to call it like a self-improvement or self-help element. And I didn't realize
Yeah.
that that was part of the book. And so that's how I've been approaching it with like journal in hand so that when you get to those pages, because pretty much at the end of every chapter, there's a reflection prompt. And I loved
Yeah.
how in the beginning, when you're talking about the Shire, you gave us a selection of themes, and we're like, okay, pick 5 to 10 of these and that resonate with you, and we're gonna carry that with us through the journey. And I'm like, wow, this is so fun. Oh my gosh. I don't think I've ever read anything to do with Tolkien before that also like reached out from the page to grab your hand and take you on the journey, a personal journey of introspection, as well as unraveling and shedding light on so many of the aspects of Tolkien that are very difficult to articulate. And I think you've done just a beautiful job shedding light on these really complicated subjects, Caitlin.
Thank you. Yeah, the book is meant to be it's a spiritual journey for the Hobbit at heart. So it's not just like a regular book where you're just here to get information, but I wanted the process of reading it to be transformative. And it's no matter what like religion or perspective you're approaching it from, I hope that there are things that people can pick up along the way and you can kind of carry these virtues and these values and these lessons from Middle Earth and apply them to your own life. So as we're looking at things like courage or hope, it's like how can I become more hopeful or become more courageous like Tolkien's heroes? And we're kind of growing along this journey together.
Indeed, live from the chat, Katie says, "For me, On Fairy Stories is such a key piece of reading on Tolkien's works." Absolutely, that's very true. And T.D. Matthews says that in your book, T does a great job of bringing in the influence of the saints without making it about the saints. Not fine line to dance. You see, my background as a Protestant doesn't have any exaltation of the saints. Just, and I don't think I have the instincts to understand it. But when I read scholarship from a Catholic point of view, like this, and when I read any kind of academic, conversation about theology and about how these systems are working in Catholicism, I just I start to get a glimpse. I start to get an understanding. It's about seeing other human beings really have the embodiment of the teachings of Christ, right? Isn't that
Yeah,
what it's
and
about? And finding
they're
a
people that you
self-reflection
can
there. Yeah.
yeah, you can see them as examples like they have kind of course, they're not perfect. Everyone makes mistakes, and so you don't want to emulate every single thing that they've done, but they have, in some way or another, this heroic virtue, and you can kind of draw inspiration from them in different ways. So we talk about a lot of different saints, and I tried to only talk about saints that had some connection to Tolkien. Either Tolkien, what we talk about one saint who is Tolkien's confirmation saint, or we talk about another saint that Tolkien wrote a poem about.
Hmm.
And then, for the most part, I'm kind of trying to focus on Tolkien and Tolkien's influences, his sphere, everything in his life, and we're drawing from that. So I hope at least that kind of made it make a little bit more sense in the way that the book flows.
Question from the chat. People want to know where they can buy this book. Well, you can buy it at Amazon, or you can get it from Ave Maria Press, Into the Heart of Middle Earth. Is there a specific website where you earn the biggest commission, Caitlin?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's all the same everywhere. I have all of the links that I'm aware of at teawithtolkien.com/book. So there are a couple different like independent bookstores that have it, or international retailers. So you can kind of visit that site for all of the links. And I'll add to it as more links become available, because I know it's still um, it's coming slowly to different countries, so it's kind of been like a long process with a lot of people still waiting for their pre-orders.
Amazing. Everything nowadays seems to get more difficult to get to other countries. I had a question, staying on the kind of religious aspects, as Cliff mentioned at the top. I think everybody here has a different religious background of what we practice and how we were raised. As a practicing Catholic, and we know, Tolkien was incredibly Catholic. Is there a lot of scholarship, and is there a lot of books about Catholicism and Lord of the Rings that you've read and consumed over the years, or did this kind of come from a place of like you wanted something like this in your life and you just had never seen it?
No, yeah, there are a lot. I mean, I could probably think of like 10. Can't remember all of their names, but there are some that are kind of similar to my book in the sense of they're like a little more devotional. And then there are others that are kind of seeking to uncover different themes. There's a book called The Flame Imperishable, I think is what it's called, and it's about like Tolkien metaphysics. And I've read some of that book, and it seemed pretty cool. And then you have other kind of more biographical books about Tolkien's faith, like Tolkien's Faith by Dr. Holly Ordway. So there's like, there's a fair amount out there. Um, but I feel like my book kind of becomes a more unique thing where it kind of fits into a couple different categories, because we're talking about the lore, and my goal is for people to learn more about Tolkien as they're reading, but I also want you to learn more about yourself as you're reading, and I want you to kind of leave the book or finish the book kind of in the way that when the Fellowship of the Ring comes to Lothlorien and they enter it and Boromir's freaked out. He's like, nobody goes through these woods unscathed. And then Aragorn is like, don't say unscathed, say unchanged. And I feel like that's how The Lord of the Rings is, at least it's been for me. Like, you pick up The Lord of the Rings, and you're on one side of the story. And by the time you get to the other end of the story, or the other side of the book, like, it changes you as you read it. And I think good literature does that. It'll soften your heart, or it'll change your perspective in one way or another. And so I think that Tolkien does that. And my goal with this book is to kind of like hold your hand along the way. Like I'm like your Sam Gamgee going with you.
I dig that. I totally dig that. Another one of my favorite chapters was to discern your path. And within this conversation, you were talking about what happens when the Fellowship arrive in Lothlorien. Well, what happens is something that might be tied into your affection for the show Rings of Power. It might be tied into all of our affection for understanding Galadriel because she's one of the people we most want to understand. And you lay it out so clearly here on page 61. Will you allow me to read a passage, please?
Of course.
And yes, to the people in the chat room, I would love to do the audio version of Caitlin's book with her permission, but it might be better if she does it herself because it would sound lovely with Caitlin doing
Wait,
it. But
is a book that written by a woman supposed to be narrated by a female voice? I'm just
not
curious
ne-
here.
not
It
necessarily, but I think
happens.
it'd be great though. If Caitlin, you should do your own audiobook. It'd be great.
I would love to if I was given the opportunity.
All right, here you go. Now, you were talking about the way that the ring that Sauron had created, the One Ring, changes her approach to what she wanted. Originally, why she refused the beckoning of the Valar to go back to the Blessed Realm. Instead, she was as you say right here, she was the only elf in exile who wanted to stay and have a dominion of her own. And when I read this part of your paragraph, something really snapped, and there was a clarity of thought that I was it's resoundingly true. You say here, if the One Ring were to return to Sauron's hand, the elven rings would once again be subject to Sauron's control. The elves would have to take off their rings and lose the ability to maintain their realms, prompting them to leave Middle-earth. If the One Ring were to be destroyed, the power of the elven rings would also be lost, and the elves would diminish and return to the Blessed Realm. In offering her the One Ring, Frodo presented Galadriel with the only possible way to maintain her status in Middle-earth, but it was ultimately an impossible decision. Her original reasons for coming to Middle-earth were legitimate, and then you refer to letters 353. But Sauron's creation of the One Ring had bound the fate of the elves to his own. Because of Sauron's grasp for dominion, Galadriel was ultimately left without a true choice. With or without the ring, there would be no true possibility of ruling in Middle-earth. Instead, her fate demanded a return to the Blessed Realm. And I got to say thank you for stating it so sharply and clearly. It is something that helps explain what she means when she says that very mysterious phrase, I have passed the test. And what Professor Tolkien hasn't loaded up the narrative with is a lot of background information that the audience doesn't know really all about those details, that she was beckoned by the Valar and that she refused. And she was just going to stay in exile because she wanted, perhaps in pure altruism, of course, completely different from the way Sauron wished to have a dominion, right? But Galadriel's altruistic approach was to have a preserved, beautiful elven dominion. And ultimately, it just couldn't happen because of the way it all played out with Sauron and his rings in the Second Age. And
Yeah, and
learning about this
Sauron,
really, it lines up everything for the understanding of the TV show and the struggle of the characters. It really does align a lot to that concept that's going on there, right?
yeah, yeah. It's like Sauron's whole thing is he wants to take away people's choice, their ability to
Mhm.
choose. He wants to rule their minds and remove their freedom of will. And so in doing this, he totally takes away Galadriel's choice, um, whether she were to leave or to stay. It's like it stinks for her. It's like that's awful.
Yeah,
So to be in that
yeah,
situation, it's like, man, what a jerk.
I know, totally. But that was because, and well, I guess it underscores entirely what Professor Tolkien is trying to show us about the urge to have dominion over things when you should not. When
Mhm.
this is not an example of the grace that we're supposed to be behaving with in this spiritual existence, right?
Right. It's such a like tricky subject too, because like Tolkien says, Galadriel was not like in the wrong for wanting these things. And ultimately
Mm-hmm.
her choice to say no to the ring and to refuse and to diminish and go back to the West is like a huge act of sacrifice for her and humility, because when the elves are in Middle Earth, like they're the top dog. Like they are way cooler than everybody else. They're way more powerful than everybody else. She's the ruler of this realm. But to
Yep.
return to Valinor, she has to take, she goes down several notches. And so to have to let all of that go, it's this land that she loves and she wants to preserve, and to have to say goodbye to that is just, it's awful for her.
Yep, absolutely. And it reminds me very much of what Professor Tolkien said in his letters about the pursuit of deathlessness, and that one of the primary sins, he did identify it as a sin of the elves, and I believe he used that term in saying it was their attempt to stretch out this timeless, beautiful elven dominion where there was not the natural order of decay and age and time bringing about change and mortality. Instead, they were just stretching out timelessness and this and using the elven rings in their dominions on, in Middle Earth for such a purpose that was counter to what was really in the original song, the original Ainulendale, that these things are all fated to change and move forward through time, not to be endlessly preserved. He was talking about it as a like spiritual stagnation, you know and that did remind me of that very much, the way you honed in on that point. um Kelly, hello, trying to bring you back around into this conversation. um how do you feel, Kelly, about what we learn? I mean, what we learned from the stories sometimes hits us so subconsciously, we don't know that we're being taught these things. We really don't always know. What do you think about that?
No, and I can speak to that from, Justin alluded to all of us having different backgrounds. And
Yeah.
so I was raised agnostic, and I've learned quite a bit about Catholicism through spending so much time in Ireland. Also, Caitlin and I have had some wonderful, fruitful conversations. And
At 2 a.m. at
yeah, I
Comic
know,
Con.
as you do. And I absolutely treasure those. And so for me, the role that spirituality played not only in Tolkien's life, but especially in his work, has been something that I had not spent much time thinking about. And it's been really illuminating, if you pardon the pun, to go through your book and to see those parallels drawn, to see where it has been such a potent influence on him and in his life. Because unfortunately, I feel like the public has weaponized that aspect of his identity in a lot of ways, and people have hijacked it to try to prove one thing or deny another thing, usually to do with present day politics, that really show how ignorant that person making that statement is, given, again, my limited understanding of what Catholicism not only is, but what it was like in Tolkien's time. It's much more about service, about looking after those who are less fortunate, and not at all about these ridiculous cultural battles that certain people seem to want to fight today,
Mm-hmm.
in at least in the online realm. And as someone who doesn't belong to an organized faith, it's very easy to form wariness when you're approaching someone who belongs to one of these groups. And that's something I've had to confront, in my entire life, really, not just my childhood or my adult life, in terms of feeling people out and realizing they're good, they're great, they're a wonderful person, and that I can't take the hatred that's being spewed by others who claim to be part of that group and assume that it applies to everyone else, even though my instinct for self-preservation always takes note of that in the back of my mind, whether I want it to or not. Um, so it's just been really beautiful to have this
Mm.
journey into Catholicism and into Tolkien's world through your book, because it's also giving me a framework so that I can understand more about Catholicism, more about the role that it played in the actual structure of Middle Earth and of Arda and of the mechanics of it. And it's just really broadened and deepened my connection with Tolkien, and I want to thank you for that.
That's really, I don't even know what to say. That's so sweet.
Well, here, let me ask you, and it is something you should be acknowledged a great deal, Caitlin, for what you've accomplished. But how did it all start? Where did the seeds of this idea come from? Because where you arrived at this end point is delightful, but where in the very beginning, how did you think about this, and how did you think about structuring this?
Well, this is really like the culmination of everything I've done with Tea with Tolkien. So I feel
Yeah.
like it was pretty straightforward. My mission has always been to cultivate a positive and vibrant online community, and we're inspired by the works, the life, and the faith of J.R.R. Tolkien. So it's not just one of those three. I like to bring a kind of like a comprehensive approach to it where we're looking at all of those. And I
Mm.
feel like it gives the community a really well-rounded feel to it. Um, and so kind of it's I really feel like the book is just like everything I've done so far boiled down into kind of an approachable, like easy to access type of thing. Sorry, my computer just like did something crazy. But it's kind of just always what I've been trying to do. So my hope is that you'll learn more about yourself as you're learning more about Middle Earth, and that no matter what perspective you come from, you'll leave changed in some way, inspired, encouraged, and equipped for your own journey wherever that may lead.
Well,
Even before your book was published, I was changing the way I internally engaged with Tolkien based on your social media posts. The things that
Hmm.
you were saying, like one of them, I think two of them stood out to me, and I'm paraphrasing here. One was, I think you were like, if one more person says that being a
Oh
hobbit
my God.
is like just
Yeah.
about eating good food and hanging out with your friends and stuff, I'm gonna scream.
Yeah.
Being a hobbit is about like toppling authoritarian regimes. And I'm like, as someone who loves Hobbit core and very much dwells in that space because it makes me happy, I'm like, I feel so irresponsible. How did I miss this? She's 100% right. Like,
Well,
and
there's a balance.
yeah, but
It's
that
you have to topple the authoritarian regime so that you can sit at the pub and eat your mushrooms or whatever. It's like you can't like if the hobbits would have just stayed at home and stayed comfortable, Sauron would have held dominion over the entire world. So it's kind of important to get off your butt sometimes.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
the turmoil that we've been witnessing as a country since the start of the year was happening in parallel with, the ramp up to your book launch. And so I found it incredibly insightful and very moving to be able to again use Middle Earth as a lens through which to look at real Earth and to draw inspiration and hope, um, from the characters and from the story. And then after I started reading your book, it just brought so much more clarity because, like Cliff said, you're just so talented at articulating these ideas and drawing parallels and connections to things that otherwise are very easy to get convoluted, because Tolkien gives you a lot. He gives you a lot of information all the time, and it's hard. He doesn't always do the greatest job of being like, this is the big thing you should pay attention to, which is fine. I think that's part of why people are find it so fertile, because you can all come to it and take away different things, especially at different points in your life. but I really appreciate how you fine-tuned and highlighted so many of these, I'll just call them light bulb moments, where it's just like the one Cliff pointed out earlier about the backstory of what forfeiting a ring or destroying the One Ring would mean for Galadriel and Lothlorien.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like honestly, I feel like having been on Twitter for the last 10 years has helped me to become very concise because you start going off and then you're like, "Oh shoot, the character limit." And you have to like boil everything down. And one thing when I was writing the book, I read a couple of like books about how to write, and it's always like whatever you wrote, cut it in half. Cut it in half. Like get as if you can say something with 4 words or you can say it with 8 words, always say it with 4 words. And so it's
I was
like
taking notes.
trying to boil these things down
I hope
because
Cliff's
so
taking
much
notes
gets
right now.
it's anyways, Justin.
He wants to he has to take every opportunity to let everybody know how awfully verbose I am. You
Well,
know.
You
I
mean
actually had a
wonderfully verbose.
wonderfully verbose. We love you for who you are.
You guys
But
are so funny.
the book's been out a month. Have you T have you learned anything, or did anything surprise you about the release of this book? Whether it's certain reactions people have come to you, new types of people that have found tea with Tolkien. What has the release of this book kind of surprised or taught you anything?
I was extremely nervous. I mean, I'm just a nervous person, so I'm nervous about everything. But I was nervous for non-Catholics to read the book because it's so difficult to strike a balance of talking about my subject matter and also being welcoming and kind of soft in my approach, not coming across preachy. And so when I got a review from the Tolkien Society and they liked it, I was like, okay, like I breathed the biggest sigh of relief. I was like, okay, we're gonna be all right, and then like a lot of my friends are not religious and they enjoyed the book a lot. And so hearing that was so reassuring to me, um, especially just because I'm always nervous about everything. So I feel like I can say that I probably did succeed in that goal of making it approachable to people of all kinds of religions and perspectives, and maybe no religion at all. So that was like a huge, I mean, that's one of my biggest goals with Tea with Tolkien as well. I never want to be the person online that's like, Tolkien was Catholic and this is the Catholics only club and you're not allowed in, like, and so I just don't ever want to do that. So always trying to kind of be as welcoming as possible. That's been the biggest thing.
Well, you've definitely succeeded, and to that point, what I really appreciate is that you also provide context, so that as someone who's not as familiar with perhaps the terminology or the metaphysical nature of that form of spirituality, I have not felt adrift. And
Good.
like you've
Yay.
been able to explain things not only in talking, but also, hey, here's a way to look at it through this lens, and here's all the context for that. So you're not like, what do these 5 words mean? And not that that's a bad thing to pull out a
Yeah.
dictionary, but
No, I mean, it's my job as the author to to inform you. And so if I was just dropping jargon all the time, you'd be like, maybe I'm not the ideal reader for this. And you are. So,
You know, it for somebody who isn't anywhere near as Methodist as they used to be and thinks about things from a largely Buddhist perspective, I found that your writing style and your conversation about Catholicism was entirely welcoming. So breathe that big sigh of relief. You've
yay.
earned it.
yes.
It was absolutely beautifully welcoming because we're you're talking about theology or elements of a theological belief, but you're not talking about things in any way that is gatekeepy, or if you're not doing it right, you're in the clutches of error. And that's a whole thing to avoid in having a theological conversation. And you did it so beautifully. It's so welcoming. And it's especially interesting because you not only talk about the life of the characters and what they experience, you even bring in what John Ronald experienced himself in the primary world. And when you are reminding people about being kind to the wanderer and learning spiritual lessons of hospitality and allowing generosity towards strangers, again, I keep coming back to that because it is so important that we talk about that, about what we've learned in the Gospel of Matthew, how we treat a person who is a refugee, someone who is poor, someone who is starving, how Jesus teaches us to behave towards people who are in need. And Caitlin, you nailed it in the perfect possible way. You said Professor Tolkien became an orphan right at that most formative time in his life, where he started to realize very critically and in sharp relief, he started to realize what it meant to be an orphan and to have to rely on the grace and generosity of others. So not only were you talking about the way the characters were experiencing the lesson, you even reminded me of how the human being, John Ronald, was experiencing that lesson. And it was perfectly done. Just that perfect balance to help us bring a broader understanding of what Professor Tolkien really is feeling and why he's writing these things through the lens of this Catholic belief, his Catholic belief. And it's lovely. It's totally lovely. I mean, it's to your credit. It's really well done, Caitlin. Well
Thank
done.
you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Of course.
Well, tomorrow is Tolkien reading day, and we have 3 authors here. So can I read about Tolkien? Can I read all of your books on Tolkien reading day, or am I supposed to only
Sure.
read Tolkien on Tolkien
I
Well-
think
reading
you
day?
should probably read Tolkien tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do I have
You're
to?
sup- Yeah. You're
Yes.
supposed to pick your favorite thing that Tolkien wrote and read it and see how it makes you feel.
What if I don't have a favorite thing?
Then
Justin.
my
How about
gosh.
try Farmer Giles of Ham?
I love
You might like
that.
Rover Random.
I love Rover Random. Try the Father Christmas letters. They're very charming
yeah.
and fun. Very
There are
fun.
so many ways to approach Tolkien. You don't have to be like, I'm reading the Silmarillion. Like you can pick up one of his short stories. You can read about Tom Bombadil or something.
Okay, that's easy for me.
The Fall of Arthur.
Yeah, the tale of Calervo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't read that.
The
It's
Green
depressing.
Knight.
Yeah, get some Beowulf. I don't know if that really counts for Tolkien reading day.
Yeah. I do want to read his Bovadium Fragments, that short story that they just rediscovered
Oh,
a few
yeah.
months ago about
I got that, but I haven't read it yet.
yeah, that's on my list.
If you want a short existential Tolkien piece, Leaf by Niggle.
Yes.
So,
Leaf
what?
by
Say that again?
Niggle. Yes.
Okay.
Leaf by Niggle.
It's like the
It's very
most
short.
Is that like Animal Crossing?
modern of his work that I've read. It feels the most of the time. Very experimental.
You would look for a trade paperback that was published decades ago called Tree and Leaf. And it has lots of these extra fun things that Tolkien wrote on the side. If I'm not mistaken, it also includes a reproduction of the classic essay on fairy stories, as well as the short piece Leaf by Niggle. And there's some other poetry and some interesting things in there. So look for Tree and Leaf. by
Everyone in the
Tolkien.
chat room is telling me to
Yes.
join Tolkien Reading Day. I will not be peer pressured. I will do this on my own terms.
Do it. Do it. Do
One
it.
of us. One
Well-
of us. One of us.
That's enough about the book. I've already seen people in the chat room saying they just purchased their copy. We highly,
so good.
as you've heard from everybody here, everybody highly recommends picking up T's book, Into the Heart of Middle Earth. It's available
It's so good.
on Amazon. It's available.
Caitlin, you had
through-
no right being this good. You had no right. This is your first book, my dear, my darling. You're hot out of the gate, and you had no right doing this. But well done. I mean
Maybe
it.
I don't have to write anymore now. Maybe I
Yeah,
can
no, it's
retire.
You did this fabulous.
Well, we've got other news to talk about today. We've got Middle Earth March Madness brackets to
Oh my
go
goodness.
over. And but before we bring in some staffers to go over March Madness, there's a couple quick news things. Today was announced Dark Horse doesn't just do comics, they do action figures, and they are doing the first new Ralph Bakshi animated Lord of the Rings collectible figures.
Oh, how cool. These have been a long time coming.
I knew you'd
I
be the one
love
to
that.
respond to first, to Cliff.
Oh my gosh,
It's a
this
great
is so
outfit. Aragorn looks so cool.
he's buff daddy. That Aragorn is totally buffed out. This is
He-
so funny.
That's my Aragorn right there. That's the best looking Aragorn. I think.
I think they should like use this costuming in Rings of Power. I think they should really like draw inspiration
agree.
for like Isildur like next season or something.
100%. I agree.
Give him a mini dress.
These are cool. These are totally cool figures. I love these.
Yeah, they captured the animation cell perfectly in 3 dimensions. I just
That is
Yep.
so cool.
love
Yeah, the
it.
character
Boots.
design looks just like them. That's great.
So Dark Horse Direct is putting these out up for pre-order soon. Also from Dark Horse Direct, you can order the Bilbo Baggins from Rankin and Bass, the other 1970s Lord of the Rings cartoon.
Oh, he matches your shirt.
Yes.
You're welcome, Katie. You're welcome, Katie.
They announced this at Comic-Con last year, and it looks like they'll be shipping this August. So you can pre-order that now. So Ralph
They're so
Bakshi
cute.
and Rankin and Bass toys are here. Other news, Lord of the Rings.
They're only 45 years too late. That's all.
Yeah. Lord of the Rings makeup won Pop Insider's Collector Choice Awards.
Oh, that's fun.
That's right. This makeup palette and whole kit is incredible. And I wish everybody the best who picked it up, because it goes in and out of stock all the time. But the Lord of the Rings Glam Light makeup kit is a winner. Also, this weekend, Cliff mentioned at the top of the show, we'll be at WonderCon, and on Saturday at 2:45, Torn has our panel, but there's another Lord of the Rings panel, The Psychological Journey of Lord of the Rings. You might recognize some of those names. Todd Stashwick is a voice actor and a regular actor, but mostly a voice actor known for Star Wars animated series. You've got psychologist Drea Letamendi, host, and Brian Ward is the moderator, and Miranda, I don't even know how to say her at.
Ex
It's-
Libris
yeah.
Mir.
Yeah.
How do you guys know that? Do you know?
Yeah,
It's
we met
Latin.
her. Well, and she was at she's been to Comic-Con a couple of times, and she was at our Torn party in I think 2023.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Or 4
Yeah.
maybe?
No, 2024, that was a Rings of Power year, and it was a non-Rings of Power year. So I
Okay.
think it was 2023. Yeah, but she got to come to the party and we hung out. She's really nice.
Oh dang! I guess I was busy.
You were busy hosting. Yeah, you were busy.
So this is a great panel. I hear some other special guests might join the panel as well. So the Psychological Journey of Lord of the Rings is 8:00 on Saturday at WonderCon. So all the Lord of the Rings
fun.
content is on Saturday. So we look forward to seeing you there. If you're going to cosplay for Lord of the Rings, Saturday is the day to do it. And then so yeah, let's bring in our other Torn folk.
That's going to be so fabulous.
I'm gonna
Responding
have to
to
bow
Katie,
out while other folks are coming in.
All right,
So-
Kelly.
so-
Bye.
Bye. Thank you
Oh.
guys for having me.
Can I stay?
Bye-bye.
Am I allowed to stay?
Bye-bye,
Yeah.
Kelly. It's lovely to have you
Okay.
here.
Love
Yes,
you
please
guys.
do
Kelly.
stay, Caitlin.
Okay, I'm staying.
Oh, hi,
Um,
Jim.
Hey, all these wonderful people coming into our live
Bring
show,
in
but
our other
jumping-
Torn folk.
Jumping into the Facebook chat, the YouTube chat. No, Katie, I've never met Todd Stashwick. I've never met any of these wonderful people. Miranda, it'd be really cool to meet them, but I maybe I'll get the chance this weekend. But I did not ever meet them, but I will someday. Now, welcoming to our show, here's Jim Wirt, and here's Josh Elisar, who does Collecting the Precious articles on the OneRing.net. We and Jim, one of our wonderful volunteers who helps us run the OneRing.net community. We're getting ready to launch this whole crazy new Middle Earth tournament, Middle Earth March Madness tournament. And well, is today the day? Are we really launching it today?
Are we, Justin?
If the post goes live, I've had nothing but technical difficulties today. It's supposed to go live.
Oh, wow.
Any minute now,
space.
with a link on the main page, and there might be a link
Okay.
in the description of this video if you're looking carefully on YouTube. But Middle Earth March Madness is our annual basketball inspired bracket voting system. Can someone else describe this better than me?
Probably. But
Thanks.
before we do that, Caitlin, thank you. I wish I had been on with you as you were working through, and count me among those who have just bought your book. So
Oh, wow. Thank you so much.
really looking forward to reading.
Yay.
I thought a lot about Tolkien and faith and applicability versus allegory, and so it's wonderful. I'm looking forward to it.
Amazing. Yeah, thank you.
All right, March Madness, and then the segues just are abundant, because we've been talking about some of these winners of the Pop Insider contest, and 3 of them were winners, and 2 of those are in our March Madness brackets this year, and it works just like the regular basketball tournament. We've got 4 regions. We have 16 competitors in each one of those regions. We open it up to fans to vote. That's the scoring that will happen, and we'll narrow that down from a field of 64 to 32 to 16 to 8. We'll have a final 4, and then the championship game, and we'll see who emerges from each one of those regions. And I guess what we're going to do is talk about how we're defining them this year. We always do different things. Last year we did artists and illustrators. We've done movie scenes before. We have done obviously classic character on character matchups. We've had objects and articles from the various books and the legendarium. So we try to find something creative in ways that introduce fans maybe to things that they haven't seen before. So, and that's why Josh is here, because he's seen so many things in the
Yes.
world of collectibles.
Well, this is a bracket that, I mean, you guys know through the email chains, every year when it comes up time to talk about the theme, I'm like, hey, let's do collectibles. I'm like the annoying kid that's like, hey, let's do this. And it's last year when we did the art, someone said, was like, all right, we'll do collectibles next year. And I'm like, a dog with a bone. I remember these kinds of things. So when it came up, I was like, all right, somebody promised me we were going to do collect. So I'm excited just because obviously that's the area that for us that, I target. But I mean, obviously as a fan of Tolkien and the material and all the things that go with that, being able to talk about the collectibles, see what people think is the coolest item for one of the regions or overall, it's really neat because for me, and this was the thing I thought too was neat for me just as an individual watching the votes and how people were talking about it in email was obviously I focus more on what we refer to as the higher end stuff, right? The statues, the master collection pieces, that kind of stuff. So watching people talk about like buttons from the 1960s and stuff like that, it was interesting to see what people were putting in, what was getting votes, what ended up where, what of the stuff that I collect and focus on didn't get very many votes, so didn't make the tournament. It was a neat process to kind of see what people value as far as what do they consider collectible, what has that little pull on their emotional heartstrings for an item or group of items or whatever. So
yeah, this year was definitely for you, but I have to do a non sequitur real quick because Jim, before we get into the March Madness, you did something amazing this weekend.
I did. Yeah. This past weekend was MegaCon in Orlando.
Oh,
And
you were at MegaCon. How cool. Yeah.
yeah. And so at one point there were, I think, 11 Lord of the Rings celebrities from that were going to be there. A couple of them had to cancel out. We had all 4 hobbits that were there. Liv Tyler was there.
But look at
Uh,
this. They did a second
yeah.
breakfast ticketed event
Yes.
where you got to eat breakfast with the 4 hobbits. Let me scroll through some of these pictures.
We
That's
did.
so
We
cute.
Did they really walk around serving
They
croissants?
absolutely did. In fact, if you scroll through one of those pictures, if it's from the MegaCon official, there's Emily, my
Wait,
wife.
that's you
and
on the
me.
Wow.
left. That's
That's
literally your
Wow.
head at the left.
That is literally
Wow.
my head, but the better 98% of my marriage is represented fully in that particular picture. So yeah, Sean Astin served us croissant.
And you have a
And
picture of it on the official MegaCon Facebook.
we do.
That's
We do.
wonderful.
It's like the character breakfasts at Disneyland.
Yeah. They weren't dressed as hobbits, unfortunately.
That's the
So
president
cool.
of SAG-AFTRA right now. That's
There you
like,
go. He was.
That's amazing.
It was a wonderful event. The hobbits talked about lots of different things, and but it was special. So Dominic Monaghan.
look
is
how
running
much
around
fun
Elijah Wood.
Sean Astin is having.
Yeah, he's
Oh.
wearing oven mitts for some reason. I guess that
It's
was
so
their
sweet.
concession to hygiene. But
Yeah.
it was great.
Oh my God. What was in
It
the
was
little
wonderful.
gift bags?
A mug that's basically that same logo. So I now have a new collectible called the Second Breakfast.
I can't
to the
update the
bracket.
bracket. It's too
Long-awaited
late. I
breakfast.
can't add it to the bracket.
No, it is too late for that. But yeah, so there was a little bit of giveaway. They gave away the little table center decorations.
I can't believe you made it to the highlight reel with
We did.
Sean
Well,
Astin. I love this.
my wife Emily is very photogenic, and that's what always gets in. So
Oh my gosh. This is just how does this compare to the Brandywine Festival? I mean, this feels immersive. You're being served food.
Well, they were serving food. It was just for that morning, and so the Brandywine Festival is a lot bigger commitment. We'll talk about that some other time. But yeah, watch this space. In fact, watch this space tomorrow. There might be something interesting.
Oh yeah. We can. Yeah, watch this. T, you promised Discord a leak.
I did not.
Oh wait, that was me.
I don't know anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, well, let's get into this bracket, folks. Again, we got 64 teams. Each team is a collectible from current and future fans past. Things that might be still available, things that might be only available on eBay, things that we remembered, things that some of us tried to forget. But it's all based on collectibles, and I'm so happy T you're staying with us to talk about these collectibles. The voting is up. The link is in the description, and let's go.
This was hard. This was hard to populate. It was hard to even structure. As Josh can tell you, there are hundreds and hundreds of different collectibles, and all of these are coming from the heart of what it is what creates passion and love for you. For Josh, it could be Josh is all about the Balrogs.
So is this how you came up with the 4 different regions?
Well, we sliced and diced them. We thought about, let's talk about maybe different release dates from the very early to the very recent. We talked about maybe we could look at these based on price points, because there are some extraordinarily high investment pieces, shall we say?
Oh yeah.
All the way down, Tolkien bookmarks and buttons and key rings and bottle openers. So and a lot of them are wonderful pieces, but we ultimately decided to group them into different kind of classes or categories. And so we've got one that's looking at figures. We're calling it Connecting to Middle Earth through our favorite figures, because a lot of times collectors will find a character. Like for me, it's Samwise. So if Weta makes one more high-end Samwise piece, I think I'm okay with Emily, but ah, it's challenging. So
Uh,
that's one region.
I know Josh has a collectible room. T, do you have a collectibles room somewhere in the house?
Not really, no. I mostly just have books. I have like some Legos and I have some Funko Pops, but like I would say that's probably the extent. Yeah, I don't have anything
There
cool
is.
like I don't have any little
I
statues.
think we put all the Legos and the pops in like its own region.
Yeah, so we have a region that we call playing in Middle Earth, through toys, through games, through other curiosities. To Caitlin's book thing, we have another region that we called experiencing Middle Earth in print and also in music. And so while we excluded books that Justin should be reading tomorrow that are written by Tolkien himself,
Yeah, old news,
we
20th century stuff.
that's right. So, but we do have, we didn't get your book in it yet, but we do have an array of different types of books and music. That's one of our regions.
Nice.
So games. And then the last one, we just called it kind of inhabiting Middle Earth in a couple of different ways. One is there are a lot of environments that you can get, from hobbit holes to big different structures. And then there are also a lot of replicas of props, swords and pipes and coins and a lot of other things. So when we go through the brackets, we can talk about some of that stuff as
Shout
well.
out to
So
Tanya in
that's
the
how we-
chat room. She was at that second breakfast thing, and she has just published her experience on the OneRing.net. So there's a link in the Facebook chat, and I think it's on the front page of the One Ring right now.
Yeah.
So I'm really jealous about the second breakfast thing. Well, let's get into the
Great.
first region, which is figures, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Figures. We didn't try to seed these. Because it's impossible. You know,
Yeah,
what will be
and I
your
didn't
number one
understand what
seed?
seeding even means. So
Yeah, that's a basketball thing. So the strongest team gets the number one seed, and the Cinderella team gets the number 16 seed, and maybe they'll beat the number one. This is all a matter of heart. How do you vote? Well, you vote. Here's how you ought to vote for any of these regions. What is it that you most love that's already in your collection, or what would you most like to have in your collection? So we'll see how
your
that
vote
works
is
out.
your own. You could vote
That's right.
against something. It's up to you. We don't care how you vote. We just want you to vote. So here's how we're gonna do it. You can see this
Yep.
on screen right now is the big bracket, all 64 teams, which is 64 collectibles, each in 4 different regions. We're gonna go region by region. So there's the master graphic, and then if you go to memm.o1ring, oner.ing. I don't know how we got that domain, but we do. It is Middle Earth March Madness. Links should be in the description. So the first matchup, when you first get there, you'll see only the first bracket, and then we'll go through the second ones. So the first bracket are collectibles, and if you click on the first matchup, boom, there it is.
There you go. That's how it's going to work.
So
And you'll notice on that page, Justin, and it was great how you set it up, because it's easy to vote for which one you want, but you also have an opportunity to click on something to find out more, maybe even to buy it if you want to. So it's a way to kind of drill down and hit your bank account hard. So
so the first matchup that you get to vote on are 2 different Balrogs, 2 different Balrog statues. Now, Josh, do you own either of these?
I have the Prime 1 Balrog versus Gandalf.
Of course you do. Yeah.
How big is it? It's hard to tell from the picture. Is it like?
I mean, it's.
Oh my gosh.
No, we didn't tell you this was a show and tell, Josh.
Oh,
go get it. I'm just kidding.
Go take the laptop here with me downstairs. It's a couple feet tall, 2.5 feet tall.
Wow.
It's on the bridge.
2.5 feet.
The bridge
tall.
Where do you have it? Do you have it in like your entryway?
It's probably 24 inches tall. I'd say 26, 28 inches tall. Yeah, it's not tiny at all. I mean, I literally have it on its own individual stand downstairs in my basement because it's just It's really huge. It's not even the tallest thing in that bracket. The Fellowship Master Collection piece is like 4.5.
Wait, let's get wait, dude, don't spoil the future. So
well, that was at Comic-Con, so people did see that though.
So I noticed the big difference between these two Balrogs is we got 64 things to go to, so we don't want to spend too much time on any of them. This one, the Balrog on the right is just the Balrog bust. It's just his head. And the one on the left features Gandalf in battle with a full-size Balrog. I think
it recreates the Bridge at Khazad-dûm scene.
I think I prefer just the head on the wall. Like I might be a hunter. You know, the bust might be the one I vote for. Does anyone else have any opinions?
Cool. The bust is really cool. It has an electronic effect to it with the flames. It lights up.
Yep. Some of them do that.
So
they had it at Weta had it at Comic-Con. Actually, I think that was before COVID. So it's been a while.
So this is how the voting's gonna go, guys. You get to vote on your preferred collectible on each of these matchups, and there might be some strategy to see which collectible makes it to the final four and then to the championship. If you love your Balrog, you got to look at the road ahead and see who he might be up against, because the next matchup is Weta
As you move on that, just one other general thing that you can see in this first matchup, and what we tried to do for all of the matchups was give a good spread of different producers and manufacturers and types of folks that are involved in collectibles. So here you see a Weta versus Prime 1. You're going to see a lot of Weta stuff, especially in this category, because Weta really specializes for a long time. And before that, Sideshow Weta was specializing in figures and in environments. But we did try to get a good spread, a good representation. So if you're a Prime 1 fan, this might be your chance to at least vote for something from them.
Yeah, and if you're on the Prime 1 Reddit community, I mean, you can really just tell them to vote as much as possible.
It's a cool piece. And the thing about that Prime 1 statue is actually there's two versions of it. There's a version that has the sword, and then there's a version that has the whip.
And you can see at the bottom, we've programmed the website. We don't tell you how many votes it has. We just tell you the percentages. And right now, as we speak, Prime 1 Balrog is winning by 75%, 25%.
There you go.
Yeah, I like how you can see the tally.
So the tally appears after you've made your selection.
Yeah, that's fun.
So all right, matchup 2, Weta Workshop Sauron.
Yep.
Versus...
So again, Weta and Sideshow Weta. Yeah, an old piece, a newer piece.
Why? How did you guys put these together in a matchup? Because they don't actually fight ever in the book, do they?
No, but we can do it here. Darn it.
We can do it here. So yeah, this is a great example, because Sauron and Gandalf were the two Maiar who were really pitted most closely against one another. They might not battle it out mano a mano, but this is a great kind of a matchup. We've done panels at DragonCon exactly on this kind of a matchup. Gandalf the White versus...
And Gandalf's winning by far right now. That's
Well, I think the cool thing too about this particular matchup, not just because it's Gandalf versus Sauron. I think it's cool to see one of the statues that came out originally 25 years ago to one of the statues that Sauron piece came out just in the last like 5 years. So you have something on one end of the spectrum. When I just first got into it, like for me, I just got into collecting Lord of the Rings, and then one that came out just within like the last few years. It's kind of neat to see that matchup, old versus new, just from someone who's been around for a couple of days collecting at this point.
This is another. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I vote for bad guys every chance I get.
I was about to go there.
Only in these fake ones.
I would vote for Sauron in this matchup. If it was me.
That does not mean in real life, when my vote really matters, I don't vote for the bad guys. I just want to be clear. But
we can go back to Caitlin and say, tell us about the conflict between good and evil in Tolkien, because this is a great illustration.
Does she want to play therapist the rest of the night for this kind of stuff?
I'm just thinking we've got a lot of these to get through.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I think every year. We gotta get through these.
All right, let's go to the next
Chop,
one.
chop, guys.
Josh, what is this? This is the newest collectible, right?
Yeah, this was what I meant. I kind of led into a few minutes ago, and after 25 years, Weta last year at Comic-Con unveiled for the first time the entire Fellowship in full 6 scale. It's about 4.5 feet tall ish. They're all, like I said, in 6 scale, so your normal statues that you would buy from them. It's not really depicting a scene that we saw in the films. It's more kind of like a what if we saw them traversing Moria. Got Smeagol, got Gollum on it, following them. It's really, really cool. It sold out. I think it was like 389 pieces or something like that. It sold out in like, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Are you kidding? It's already sold out?
Oh yeah, it sold out. Yeah, when it went up after Comic-Con, it sold out within 20 to 30 minutes at $5,000.
Dare I say that again?
It was $5,000. Yeah.
How many were there that they made? Do you know?
I think 389, something like that. It was kind of a off number. I'd have to look up, but
crazy. That's wild.
Crazy. Yeah.
I'm making payments on it. So.
So did you get one, Josh?
I did get one. Yeah.
Well, good for you. So Josh and I are 2 of the 389.
So
wow.
It's honestly
it's gonna be a while before I have mine, but I have it coming. Yeah.
It is amazing. They also had it on display at MegaCon.
This is a great time to remind people to pick up Tea with Tolkien's book at local bookstores now.
My book's only $20, so
that's it. It's far less than the tax on this thing.
Yeah.
The Amer piece is a beautiful piece. Yes. It's really well rendered. He's coming down that steep bank on his way into the Helm's Deep, and it's a very dynamic piece. And
Firefoot. When did they name the horse?
Oh, he always had. You need to read the book, Justin. You'll find out all these.
Well,
names.
and the fun thing about that statue too is that when that one came out here a few years ago, that is the first statue representing Rohan on a horse.
And that's why you should vote for that one. All right.
There's another one coming up.
He was standing on a rock.
Let's get on to the next one.
I'm sorry. See, I can go in. This is like I gotta just shut up a lot and just let everybody.
We got Weta Workshop Smaug the Terrible statue versus Weta Workshop Gandalf and Frodo. Both of these are actually smaller than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, not the Gandalf with Frodo on cart. That's a big one.
Is it a big one? I thought it was like a mini guy. Like, oh, of course you have it.
Of course.
There it is.
Oh wow!
Right
yeah.
Hang on to that shot. Hold on a sec. Let me.
Okay. Here we go.
They look like Barbie sized.
So they're 1/6 scale, and the fireworks in the cart come out.
Oh, that's bigger than the Smaug one for sure. Yeah, that is actually a good size.
So that was their second master collection one after the Gollum one. And no, it was third one because it was Gollum Treebeard, huge Treebeard, and then this guy, and this is what addicted us to master collections.
Wow.
So, yeah, and it was celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Fellowship of the Ring, and this iconic, beautiful, Gandalf and Frodo riding into the Shire on this cart full of fireworks. It's a wonderful piece.
Well, in the Smaug piece, it was one of those. I think that was one of the ones I put on my list. Was we really didn't have anything for the Hobbit films, and that's probably of the pieces that came out that Weta did for them, probably the coolest piece that they did for those films, because it's a good sized piece. It's smaller, I think, probably than the Master Collection, but it's still pretty good size, and you get to see Smaug kind of in all his glory. They did another one later that with his wings flapped out, but
yeah, that's a
really cool piece.
Yeah. So again, Weta against Weta. So we'll see what the fans think.
All right. Moving on to the next one. Again, I'm gonna vote for the bad guy on this particular effort. And we've got, what do we got here? We've got
Wow.
Another one, Royal Dalton. These are classic, older, and you can see even with the announcement that you mentioned, Justin, with a new things coming out from Dark Horses, the old Bakshi and Rankin Bass kind of treatments of these figures. So even in that one, you can see how much they loved short pants or skirts.
Yeah, they look great.
what is
And you even get a little
Royal Dalton?
Yeah.
What is Royal?
I don't know anything about the.
It's a porcelain company out of Britain.
Yep.
And they did a lot of figures. These are secondary market kind of figures now, and they're pricey if you want to get some. Probably it would have been an investment piece. It's back there if I'd only bought Apple at $1 a share.
Yeah.
That kind of a thing.
Well, in the Theoden piece
Yeah.
came out just in the last year or so. It's you can almost find the screen capture in before as he leads the charge at Pelennor Fields.
There's
Is that one of those?
You have one of the little guys.
Yep.
So
Well,
cute.
I told you I'm a Sam addict, and there's my little
Yeah.
Sam.
Oh, that's Sam.
Oh my God! Hold that up.
Yep. Yep.
I'm
That
still
is
voting
so
for
cute.
Theoden. Sorry, Jim, but that is really neat.
That's so
There he
cute.
is. And he's cute, and it's not real big. So,
Oh, it looks
Yeah.
tiny.
but he's a hobbit. So,
Is it as what you would expect to be as fragile as a normal porcelain?
oh
type
yeah,
piece?
yeah. I mean, it's a piece of porcelain. So
Oh wow.
yeah, you don't want to drop it.
Wow, that's cool.
So, unlike the vinyl pieces or other things.
Learn something new every day.
There you are.
Man, I haven't said the word porcelain since my grandma died.
Well, there you are. And yet there are porcelain collectibles that you can have.
Aw.
Those are amazing. I'm actually gonna vote for those ones because those are fun. All right, moving on.
Okay. Argonath bookends.
No, those are the bookends. There's a couple of versions of the Argonath, and I don't remember if we included both of them or not, or if one of them got excluded. But there's two versions of the Argonath. One Weta did 25 years ago, which is what these are. And those came with the extended version of the Return of the King filmed. And so when it came out, and I was one of the people that at midnight that when it came out that year, my dad went with me to a local Walmart, and we waited for the Walmart people to open the shipping crates, and I grabbed one and came back and did all of that. Opened it up and registered my stuff, and it actually led to Chris end up dressing as Arwen and doing his thing at the One Ring convention. You can ask Chris about how that all worked out sometime, but yeah.
So that's
Rankin Bass. They showed that
yeah.
at Comic-Con, didn't they?
I think so. I think you're right. So a lot of these older Rankin Bass and Bakshi figures are coming back around. Middle Earth Enterprises is gracious enough to kind of extend some of that licensing. And as you can see, not all golems look like Andy Serkis.
This is wild. What is this golem made of? Is it polystone sculpture? Is this plastic? What is this made of?
I thought they said it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be vinyl. I thought they said it was gonna be one of like a pop material, but I don't.
Vinyl.
I don't remember what John said when we talked about it last year at Comic-Con. I'd have to ask him again.
The Argonath bookends, were those the ones that came with the Blu-ray or the DVD extended edition?
Yeah, they came out with the extended versions. Yeah.
So they're bookshelf size.
Yeah. Was there controversy about them releasing bookends with the extended edition DVD? Like, I've already bought the DVD, now you're making me buy it again just to get the bookends?
That was the one thing everybody looked forward to, was the extended version coming out, because they were partnering with because Sideshow and Weta were working together at the time making stuff, and every year there was when the extended version came out in December, as the new film came out, you had Gollum and Smeagol, and one of them was, there was always like a deal in it to get the other version. So it was like a trade-in coupon type thing. And so you had Gollum, Smeagol, you had the bookends, you had Minas Tirith in Minas Morgul. I think the and so I think the bookends were the bookends with Fellowship. Maybe that's how it went. I'd have to go back and refresh.
Yes.
They
Yeah,
must
the
have. It's
bookends.
the
Yeah.
Argonaut. Yeah, it must
Yeah,
have.
they're in
I think
Fellowship.
I think those were with the Fellowship, because Minas Tirith was with Return of the King was
Well,
with
the Argonath is beating Ugly Gollum by a significant 80% margin. So yeah, all you Gollum lovers who are getting your own movie dedicated to you next year, you need to step up in the voting. Let's move on
He's
to the
so
next
ugly, yeah, but so cute.
Yeah.
Something about
Ugly
when
and-
something is so ugly that it becomes cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I got into my 50s, that's how I figured out that's what was happening to me. Yes.
But
Yes.
who was the Finnish artist that illustrated The Hobbit? Torva. I'm
The
forgetting his name.
Finnish artist. Why does that
Yeah.
name of it? It's
Torva Jansson, I think.
yeah, it's in the back of my mind right now. I can't remember.
At any rate, her Gollum was huge. It looked like a
Yeah.
grassy troll. So
Yeah, it was
it's just
giant.
Oh yeah, I know the
so
one you're
just
talking
like
about.
collectibles, it's just what speaks to you. What's your vision? How what does your imagination say that these characters ought to look like?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So here we have the next matchup is the Bilbo and Bag End versus a Samwise Gamgee and Bill the Pony sets. We do love Bill the Pony. Caitlin, do you have what's your affinity here? I'm curious to know where you vote on this particular one.
I don't know. I mean, I don't have any I feel like both of them are cute. How I don't know. I guess Bill the Pony probably he's a special little guy. I would vote for Bill.
One of the first figures that came out, Sideshow Weta did it. It's again on that 1/6 scale, as you would imagine.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You have it too?
There he is. Yeah, on the Sam thing, you can kind of see him.
Oh yeah, that's cute. Yeah, I like Bill.
Yeah, it's a great piece. It's not cluttered at all. It's simple. And it's got Bill and all of his luggage and Sam's feet. Yeah.
And a fun fact about the Sideshow Weta pieces, especially ones like Sam and Bill, the initial pieces are all what they refer to as open edition. So there was no set number at the bottom of it. But from what I have been told over the years, they did not sell as fast as you would think. So while there's no set edition number, they are all quite limited because they didn't start selling well until the Gollum DVD came out with that set when the Two Towers came out, and then everybody all of a sudden got interested in the statues. Well, by that time they had ended production on a lot of those pieces, like Sam and Bill. So if you find one, it's actually rarer than you would think, even if it was an open edition.
Yeah, that's an eBay acquisition or some other one.
And then the other piece is is a Bilbo and Bag End, and it's really cool. They did two versions of that. There's a Bilbo just with the desk that you can buy, and then you have the full version in Bag End, and it's really cool. It's taller than you'd think, but it's still Hobbit size, obviously. A lot of stuff. You got his desk and all kinds of little goodies and stuff that you can set on the floor and really kind of recreate those scenes where he's in his office. That we saw throughout the film. So it's really cool.
That piece actually comes with lots of little pieces of paper with Bilbo's scribblings on it, and you can.
I keep those. I keep those in a little Ziploc bag that came with it.
I don't.
I will.
No,
lose
you got to crinkle them up and throw them all around.
Yeah, you know what? If you're losing pieces of it, it's not worth voting for. I'm sorry, man. Like we're talking collectibles here.
That's so cute, though. It has little piece of paper.
All right, little piece of, and Weta's done that. They did that with their Radagast statue too, where he's got lots of little bottles and things that you can put all around however you want to. So they're making their collectibles more interactive.
All right, the next matchup is the Ring Wraith on speed versus a Royal Selangor Pewter Goblets.
Two
Come on.
classics, two older collectibles with that.
What
But
is that based on? That goblet based on?
I have never seen those goblets before.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They're you can find them in some places. It's pewter. So it's a beautifully crafted
Can you
piece.
drink from pewter?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Jefferson cups were all made out of pewter. Classic. If you ever go to Williamsburg, buy one.
We've tried to put more information link on everything. Holy smokes, look at this.
Bro, that's crazy.
That is supposed to be Aragorn. I would have never guessed.
So yeah, it is not according to any art that you have
Does
seen
anybody else
recently.
think that cup looks like Cliff?
Here you go.
What are you talking about?
Look at it. It looks
So
like
this is it like a prop from the movies, or is
gosh.
just like
No,
someone's
no, this is
interpretation of
predating
Aragorn
the
as a
movies, yeah.
goblet?
All right, someone buy one and have Cliff sign it at Comic Con.
It's literally just a generic, not officially licensed, non-movie version of a cup.
It's an
Interesting.
earlier artist version
Yeah.
of different fellowship members.
That's neat. Oh, so there's like multiple.
Sculpted
have
by
any of
Dr.
these?
Graham Anthony.
Wow.
So if you want the obscure to win, vote for the goblet.
Oh, look
He
at the
looks
side
like he's really going through
profile.
it. Like, look at his expression. He looks like he's in pain.
The side profile makes him look like one of those stop
my
motion
goodness.
puppets from Candy Cane Lane or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
There you go.
This would
Fascinating. Never seen those before.
scare me in the
Yeah.
dark. If the
And
light
that's great, Cliff. Cliff, that's great because that's one of the things we're trying to do is show people things you may never have seen.
Yeah, I've
before.
never seen this
Yeah, I
before.
can't say I've seen
Very
those either.
interesting.
versus a very popular sideshow collectibles Ring Wraith. I do like
that
the
was
Ring
an old
Wraith.
classic.
That particular piece is one of those that, I mean, heck, that's gotten used for logos and different things over the years because, I mean, it's almost effectively straight out of the film as far as like the Ring Wraith reaching and
You know
stuff.
what's crazy to me
the
is
most
that
iconic pieces from
is that
line.
those black riders on black horses were used so extensively in the marketing of Fellowship of the Ring, and they were never on horseback in any other movie. We've never seen the ring race ever on horseback after Fellowship.
That's true.
Well, they switched to fell beasts and started flying.
Yeah, but
at
the
you.
horses are scary. Like
The horses are not very effective. They totally failed in.
Plus, they
their
got
quest.
drowned at
They
the.
can't.
Yeah,
They're afraid of
horses
water.
Probably died.
All right, next one. The last one on this region.
No, this is a different region. That was the last one.
And now
that
we've
was
bounced
the
over
last
into
Yeah, we're going into
experiencing
French-
Middle Earth in print and music.
Print and
Yes.
music.
I see it.
Oh, so was that Argonath one we were talking about earlier? Was that the Argonath environment that Weta had?
No, those are the bookends.
Okay.
Yeah, because Weta's done other Argonath environments. I brought
Right.
this one up. This was the first one they did,
Yeah.
which is a littler version.
Gotcha.
And then they
Okay.
did another big version of the same thing. People love the Argonath.
Yeah.
And
Oh
if you
yeah.
come to our house,
I have that.
That one's so cute.
Hold that up, Jim, again.
Yeah. So this is their Argonath environment, and it even has little boats in it. I don't know if you can see the boats.
And then they did here just recently. They did a larger version that cut out some of the side pieces, and it's just the two big Argonath statues. Yeah, they've done it a couple of times where they changed you had the bookends, and then you have that, and then you had the bigger
Josh, you're gonna have to do show and tell like Jim next broadcast.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I'll have to be on my phone for that.
Here's one cool thing that we learned at MegaCon from Daniel Falconer about this piece, and it shows the intricacy of the detail, which is so cool about a lot of the stuff. The Argonath it was designed to look like it was carved out of the mountainside, but then from the shoulders on up is all of these little building blocks, and if you look around, you can see the quarrying of the of how they built up the pieces, the heads on these things. So there's so much thought that went in that goes by in an instant in the movie. But if you get one of these collectibles, it's like,
All
oh,
that great work and all those collectibles for
yeah.
something that's not even book accurate. What a waste.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's movie accurate. That's
Says the
It
guy
is
who's
movie
never read the
accurate.
books.
I've
So
been
the
told.
fir-
I've been told.
Yeah, yeah. So you have Isildur and Elendil movie versus Isildur and Anarion book, which is a different
Do y'all think
podcast.
we're gonna meet Anarion in Rings of Power?
I hope so.
I would wonder if we
I
didn't.
do indeed.
I would really wonder
I
if we
do think
didn't.
so.
All right. So yeah, this first matchup of the second region, which is
Yeah.
Middle Earth in print and music, is the DVD box set with the statues, and versus the brand new Syzygy Forge barrel lid plaque. It's hard to describe how big this barrel lid is. It really is a life-size barrel. Like, it's taken from an
barrel.
actual barrel that they brew Middle Earth whiskey in. It's like 3 feet across. It's a giant barrel lid.
I talked to the guy I talked to the folks from Syzygy at MegaCon. They said these things, there's 3 designs. They say they're beautiful. They were stunned themselves after they saw them come out of production. So it's going to be a cool piece.
Yeah, and those are fresh off the press and available now. So I'm gonna vote for that one. Next matchup, we've got the Bodleian Tolkien, maker of Middle Earth, exhibition booklet, right?
Yes, it's a catalog. It is a gorgeous collection. So this was the Bodleian and Oxford did a show where they were exhibiting lots of original manuscripts and maps and other
All
parts of
from
the collection.
Tolkien's own hand, right?
Many of them, or it depends on which show you went to. But I think the Bodleian did do all from Tolkien himself. So a lot of his artwork.
I tell you, one of
was
the most
individual.
crushing things about the pandemic was they had originally planned to tour this Bodleian exhibition across the world, and it was going to start in 2020, and it never happened. So
That's so sad.
everybody in many different cities missed the opportunity of seeing seeing this versus our friend Cliff, your pal Doug Adams, book Music of Lord of the Rings, which is now, I believe, in its 11th printing. It is one of the most successful books around Middle Earth and Lord of the Rings, other than the Lord of the Rings itself.
It's an extraordinary book and written by an extraordinary author. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how people vote on this. Well, there you go. 72% already. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
that's a tough one.
Was really cool.
just if you get, then I have to go back and plug the Bodleian thing, because if you get the limited edition one, you can get one that has Priscilla Tolkien's signature on it.
Ooh, yes. Yeah, that is quite the collector's item, isn't it?
So
That's fabulous.
it's the limited thing was gorgeous. That's wonderful.
All right, moving on. This one I was very confused on because I have no frame of reference for either of these things.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
So you
Donald
old folks
Swan.
enlighten me.
Donald Swan was one of the first guys who put Tolkien's poetry to music. And I don't know that this comes in CDs. It might be only it probably does, but or streaming. But it's very different kind of a music. It would have been the kind of music that I think Tolkien would have been able to listen to and review. And so you can actually buy the sheet music to it. So it's his poems and songs of Middle Earth. And then if you grew up in the 70s at all, the Hildebrand brothers were absolutely iconic. It was, predated any kind of movies, including Bakshi, and fascinating stories about how they actually talked their way into making a calendar. And these two brothers developed some of the most iconic early imagery from throughout the Legendarium or throughout Lord of the Rings. And I think there were 3 or 4 years where, that was the calendar to have if you were a young Tolkien fan like I was. That illustrated all these iconic scenes.
T, what would
throughout
you buy for your kids? Would any of your kids be interested in either of these?
I mean, I think the calendar is cool because I would like to look at the artwork inside.
It would.
My kids, though, I mean, I don't know if they would be interested in either.
I'm picturing, I remember when I was a kid, I had like a little toy record player that played like 33s, like small record discs. And I think this is the thing on the left, the poems and songs came on a little 33-inch. Is that what they were
We
called?
had one of those with the Hobbit soundtrack on it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It was like a kid's record player.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking.
But I don't think I've seen this one.
Would they, Jim or Cliff, were any of these like targeted toward kids, or was just adult fans?
You mean the Hildebrandt Brothers calendar?
And the music thing.
The music album was something I found at my public library. I was instantly fascinated by it. I thought, whoa, wait a minute. There's a record that has Tolkien's poems and songs from Middle-earth. So I checked it out from the library, and I was shocked that I didn't care for any of it. I didn't care for any of it. Then the calendars, I mean, hey, what I was listening to when I was a kid was, early Bowie and Eurythmics and stuff like that. So, obviously. But the Hildebrandt brothers were everywhere in the 70s. And these calendars were incredibly popular, and kids ate up the calendars, especially me. I was 11, and I ate up those calendars like you wouldn't believe. Loved them.
One of the things about the Hildebrandt brothers, if we didn't put this in the matchups, Magic the Gathering has done a whole series of Lord of the Rings cards.
Yes.
And one of their later editions of that series used Hildebrandt brother art in the card graphics, and
they sure
was
did.
Incredibly popular because it was so resonant for those of us who remember those calendars.
And look, I'm just gonna say it, the final shot of season 2 of Rings of Power, where they're holding up the sword and overlooking something, it's very colorful, very reminiscent of the Hildebrandt art style. And if there's one thing I hope Rings of Power leans into is adopting more of the Hildebrandt color palette in future seasons. It really is distinctive. All right, moving on.
Maps. What? Not seeing what the other.
The calendar 2026 Alan Lee calendar. Looks like the image is not loading up correctly.
That's
Middle
this
Earth
year's
maps.
calendar from
Is
Alan Lee.
this the book by Karen Fonstad?
I am not sure.
No, the maps
that's
are
the
like
atlas.
individual, like it's an actual, I mean, like that particular map I actually bought for one of my nephews and got framed for their bedroom. It's just a map, like a parchment looking paper map of Middle Earth.
Oh, it's Weta,
cool.
the Weta maps. Yeah. It's beautiful paper. You can get the whole Middle Earth. You can get focus on the Shire.
Oh, it's $29.99. That's even better.
There you go. So,
yeah, like I said, I got that one framed and it's hanging in one of my nephew's bedrooms.
It's more expensive than Caitlin's book, but still.
Versus a calendar, which I think is around $29.99. Alan Lee always putting out good calendars. So we don't really need to explain that. I think y'all know what's up with both of those. Here's a little self-serving contest.
Yeah, a little biased here.
All right, so we might be a little biased here. So T, as the outside perspective, can you make a fair assessment of our options here?
So this other thing is music. I've never seen it before.
It's more of that Donald Swan stuff.
It's more Donald Swan. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I would have to go with the t-shirt though, obviously. This is Torn Tuesday.
This might have been one of the most popular Torn t-shirts ever.
It was very funny. I remember when Justin was sending me the drafts of it and I was cracking up. Was this for last
me
year?
and Matt from Nerd of the Rings, that night when we were setting up the booth for Comic-Con, we told Justin that, buddy, you better just call your t-shirt people right now and order some more shirts because that stuff's not gonna last.
Yeah.
And it was kind of fun teasing him a little bit, like, see, we told you, because that stuff was just, I mean, it was flying and literally flying off.
Yeah. Did you sell out really quickly?
Boom, 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 boom. It was crazy.
And credit where credit is due, the idea for this is 110% with Green Dragon. We were at Scum and Villainy Cantina, and she just said it after a couple drinks in. She's like, "How about this idea?"
Yeah.
And it was like,
I can see that happening.
Yeah.
I was there when that happened. That was great.
That's
By the
awesome.
way, the Donald Swan, The Road Goes Ever On, a song cycle, is not a long playing record. It is
No.
not a vinyl. That is a book. That is the paperback edition of the hardcover edition of the actual sheet music. So
That's right.
just for clarification, what you're looking at
Oh, cool.
is the book of all the sheet music to play directly on piano or other keyboard. It also has guitar chords. I've seen it up close. One of our friends and volunteers at theonering.net, Ostadan, he has an original copy in hardcover of The Road Goes Ever On song cycle. So what that is in that artwork is the paperback version of the hardcover sheet music. Now we know.
and it's a close matchup here. So we
Yep,
can see
very
the
close.
age groups that are voting here. It's, all right, moving on.
Yeah, classic soundtracks. Such amazing music. We've
Yeah.
already had the book that covers the creation of that music. This is the music itself.
Versus
So you've got-
Tolkien's actual diaries.
I'm not sure.
What are is it like a Tolkien planner or is it like a?
Let's learn more and buy. Let's
Yeah.
see here. It's used Tolkien diary. Does it? Oh, it's just a
Yeah, it's like a
di-
yearly planner, right?
It's a yearly planner. Yeah, it's
I think it's a blank
$12.49.
planner.
All right. Well, this is.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
I think that's gonna
We
be a
don't-
pretty easy choice.
Yeah, we don't even need to debate this. All right, moving on. What is going on here?
Wow, the original soundtrack of the Rankin and Bass Hobbit, believe it or not, was not released by Warner Brothers or any associated labels. It was not released by CBS or any of the networks that broadcast the Rankin and Bass special. It was Disneyland Records that had the licensing deal with Rankin and Bass to release the songs, music, and the soundtrack elements from the 1977 Peabody Award-winning telecast of The Hobbit, which caused such a ruckus in the 70s. It was the big year of Star Wars. It was the big year of The Hobbit. Believe it or not, it was the same year that the Silmarillion was published. So 1977 was a banner year for young kids who were going in to be geeks, growing up as a geek. It was huge.
This might be the only thing you'll ever see with the Disneyland logo in blue at the top right.
Absolutely.
Adjacent to J.R.R. Tolkien.
In our documentary, Ringers, Lord of the Fans, we did a really good interview with the producer of the Disneyland Records. He worked on the Hobbit soundtrack and the Return of the King, and his name was Jim Magon. Quite a talented comedic actor. He worked at Disney for a period of time, doing a lot of work at their record label. And he talked about the weird licensing deal that they had. It's interesting because Rankin and Bass, as an animation house, they had no branch to release any recordings. Period. So they had to license out their work to other established companies that could press vinyl, and they got into that deal with Disneyland Records. So that's how that worked out.
But it is getting trounced by pictures by J.R.R. Tolkien.
I'm afraid we're going to have to change that. We're going to have to rally our voters and change that. We're going to have to. Oh my
All right,
gosh.
Cliff has made his speech. Does anyone want to defend pictures by Tolkien?
Well, they're by Tolkien, and they're beautiful.
Yeah,
I mean, Tolkien was such an amazing artist, and he was always doubting his talent. But he just doing watercolors and landscapes.
But he didn't write the greatest adventure.
There we are.
No, that was
I
written
think
by
this might have been the
It's a
record. This might have been the record that I had when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Mm.
A lot of us had that record when we were kids, but the songs by Maury Laws actually don't make up words. They're using the real poems and songs from The Hobbit. And
That's
then
cool.
Maury Laws, as a composer, set them to music. Only the opening track, which is The Greatest Adventure, was an original piece. But the great thing about the Hobbit soundtrack is it does a significantly better job than Peter Jackson did in bringing all of these songs and poems to life because it was a full musical, The Hobbit.
Right.
But you
Right.
know what? With real artwork by John Ronald himself, I doubt that there's much to do in the running here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know.
We shall see.
I have my choice in. All right, final one in this region of experiencing Middle Earth in print and music. We've got the BBC box set, BBC Radio, Lord of the Rings box set versus OSHA Slings beautiful mugs. I've seen these mugs in person. We had some on display at Comic-Con last couple years, and I drink my tea from them every week.
Yeah,
There
they're
you
really
go.
nice. I have
Yeah,
a couple of them.
OSHA
We
is a
did. We used them to make our 25th anniversary mugs.
Oh yeah, you guys did.
we did. We didn't
They're
feature
they're
that. in this
really
one.
nice. They're really nice quality mugs. I mean, it's
Mhm.
they can take wear and tear. My mom uses the one that I got her for like her coffee and tea and stuff.
Well, it's
I'm-
pretty close, and the 1995 BBC set is edging out the beautiful mugs.
What you
So
should
different.
do,
These two options are so different from each other.
Yeah.
It's like, kind of hard to put them
Print
up
and
against
music.
each other.
you really need to go to the OSHA site. OSHA is a wonderful Scottish company. Our friend Green Dragon knows them well. Mugs is just a portion. In fact, it's a minor
Mhm.
portion of their overall product line. The OSHA slings refers to baby slings, so they have a lot of wraps and textile art that they have created and licensed. It's beautiful. And woven into an array of not only baby slings but shawls and wraps and cloaks and
All right, we've defended OSHA enough, and Cliff has left the building, so no, there's no one here to defend the BBC. So I think we've told you how to vote. All right, that's the end of our second bracket. How's everybody doing? Should we power
Cool.
through?
Really good. Let's do it fast, really fast.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
we
I'm
can
gonna
pick
give
up
you
the
guys
pace.
like a 30-second limit on each one.
All
All
right,
right.
You know what? Use an egg timer with the little 30-second limit.
here we go.
Okay.
One
All right.
ring environment.
Oh,
Yeah,
this.
so
I mean,
there-
I feel like this is a kind of a like it's the One Ring. Like,
Could be.
yeah, I don't know.
Edoras is a beautiful
The
piece.
Edoras is pretty cool. They finally did they redid the Golden Hall individually after 25 years. But then if you wanted to, you could buy the kind of upscaled version where you get basically the top part of Middlesex, and you get the whole. You know, some people actually complained, believe it or not, that you didn't get the full mountain with everything. I was like, you guys are nuts, but
No, they're not.
How big
nuts.
is this one?
yes. Do you know how
Oh,
big
it's,
that would be, Justin? You're
it's
talking about that's like
Yeah.
that thing is huge enough as it is. I'll film some of it before next Tuesday. I'll send you a little video.
Okay. All right. We're past 30 seconds, but
Okay,
we've got
but
the Jens Hansen One Ring, the officially licensed solid gold ring with the etching of the black speech of
And
Mordor.
it's losing right now.
And it's losing to the workshop,
Wow.
the Weta
I'm shocked.
Edoras environment.
There are a lot of
Okay.
cheap One Rings out there. If you really want a quality one, you go with the Jens
Yeah,
Hansens, but
yeah.
you're going to pay
Yeah.
for it.
True that. True that.
All right, we got
Oh, this
Weta
one's
Workshop
hard.
Barad-dûr large version versus the
Yeah,
Noble,
how big is that? Oh,
it's that
Noble
one? Right here.
Collection.
How big
Ring
is
of
it?
Aragorn.
Yeah.
Right here.
That's so cute.
What is it, Jim? About a foot and a half, maybe, or so. Ish.
Something.
I'd have
Wait.
to look it up. Mine's downstairs, so I don't have.
Oh,
Jim's got a measuring tape.
Wait, that's the large version?
Yeah,
so it's about 2
I was
feet.
really expecting it to be like 6 feet tall. I'm kind of
Yeah,
Well,
disappointed.
they
I
could,
know.
they could have made it bigger. Yeah.
Well, here a few years ago, they did a smaller. They
Okay,
did a
yeah.
mini version, so that's why.
Little baby Barad-dûr.
Yeah, because you can't get that anymore. I mean, that thing's like I don't know,
This
10
set.
years old, 12 years
There's a
old.
Oh
little
yeah,
mini
that's
bar.
so cute.
That is so handheld.
Aww. It's like a Polly Pocket
But you know,
size.
the cool
Yeah.
thing is it's still, you know, one of the things you've noticed is it just flashes by, but there's a lava moat around Barad-dûr
Aww.
in the movie.
So cute.
It's really cool.
That's awesome. All right, the large version, as you see in the background there on Jim's screen, versus the Ring of Aragorn, which is not the correct name of that ring. Someone,
No,
what
it's
is
the
it?
Ring of Barahir, but everybody refers to it as the Ring of Aragorn because
Yeah.
it's the one that he wears.
All right, Cliff's not
Yeah.
here. T, can you give us the history of the Ring of Barahir in 30
Oh my
seconds?
gosh, now I'm stressed. I mean, isn't this
Uh-huh.
is the ring from Finrod, right? And then he
Yes.
gives it to Barahir,
Yes.
and then it goes to Baron, and then all the
And
way
that passes
to
on
Aragorn.
down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did
So
we
it's,
meet
like, really
Finrod
cool.
in Rings of Power?
Yes.
Of course we did.
It was Galadriel's brother.
Is he wearing the
Are
ring
you
in Rings of
joking?
Power? No, I have a short. I'm a goldfish.
What?
Like, is he wearing
Yeah.
this ring? Is he wearing the ring in the show?
No.
I don't recall him wearing the ring in the show though.
He
'Cause we haven't seen
might have
Baron.
had it when he's fighting, but and when you have the montage, but I haven't seen it.
Well, I know
yeah.
what I'm voting for, because if there's a connection to Galadriel and Haladriel, I'm voting that, and it is winning by 74%. The Ring of Barahir is defeating the large version of Weta Workshop's Barad-dûr.
Hobbit holes
Mhm.
versus staffs. Weta and others have made a lot of cool staffs. This one is inspired by the Hobbit. It lights up on the inside.
Is it life size?
Yeah, that's a
So you
one-to-one.
could walk with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
That's
Uh,
so
and in
cool.
fact,
I
this one
wonder
is
how
a
that much
little-
costs. How much is that, I wonder?
Not sure. It's a little more durable, actually. This as opposed to some of the early ones,
fight with it?
Noble Collection and so on were coming out with. I wouldn't fight with it.
Wow.
$189. That's cheaper
That's
than
not
a Master Replica's lightsaber.
That's a lot cheaper than I thought it would be. That's really a lot cheaper. And you know what? When I do all these Gandalf weddings, and I get requests all year long to do weddings dressed as Gandalf or other characters, I need this.
You do.
I need this
Yes, you
illuminated
do.
staff.
It's a work expense, Cliff.
It's
a
in
Yeah,
work
it's a work
collection
expense.
stuff. It's really nice, but it's also, as you can see, I mean, I know it's hard to say that's affordable when you're talking $200 basically, but it's not, because United Cutlery makes stuff like that too, and their stuff is.
Do you know what? I get
$600.
paid adequately, more than adequately, by my couples to do a particular creative wedding that's including cosplay character. And you know what? Even I've got bookings going into 2027 to do Gandalf weddings on into next year. So this is something I would invest in. I love this. It's great.
It's cool. It would do great for you to do that kind of thing.
And
I love it.
Perfect timing to remind everybody, you can buy Tea with Tolkien's new book, Into the Heart of Middle Earth, at Amazon.com
When I
and
talk about
local retailers.
affordability.
That would make a wonderful wedding gift.
It's really a wonderful book. It's really delightful.
Hey, Cliff,
Delightful.
here's a tip though. Do not leave that staff in the back window in your car
No.
for a long period of time if it's hot outside. Just saying.
It doesn't. Oh, okay. I'll remember that.
All right, guys. This is a tough one.
Oh,
now Jim has this because I mentioned it and talked him into doing it.
Wait. But before you show us, Jim, guess which one he has.
I don't know. How am I supposed to know the answer to this question? I
why would you assume I only have one of them?
He probably has both.
I have one at hand.
Is it Sting?
And one's mounted.
Oh.
What show? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I mean that book looks super cool. I've seen other people have it,
Oh,
and it's because all the pages have stuff on them, right?
Yeah, I mean there's more.
Yeah.
I mean it's
that's
like
so cool.
an unbelievable.
Are you kidding me right now? It's a handwritten.
It is.
Yeah.
So long story short, because I'll try to keep this quick. The reason I got started was there's a couple people on a message board that I visited years ago, and they started the process working with the guy that made this, and he had since then. Yes, hand done leather.
So is it literally the whole Lord of the Rings
Yes,
story?
It is Bilbo's book to every possible way we know of the information that is out there, with drawings like the Balrog and all that's the Ring of Barahir's in there. It is.
Yeah, that's so cool.
It is
so nothing that Bilbo didn't participate in.
It's got everything.
For the first part.
It's got through Frodo and Sam, and it is
after
the most complete version I think you can find out there. It is one of the coolest Lord of the Rings collectibles that you can get. It's like,
I don't even like collectibles, but I want this.
It is. If I can recommend anything that's like, if you want to stay, especially from statues, because that kind of
where does it end? Where does the book end?
It ends with some writings by Sam, because Frodo says, "I've left some space for you," and then at the very end, it even has some things that I think Legolas has written.
Oh my gosh!
Are you kidding? What?
No.
What?
I've had mine for about 15 years.
Oh my gosh!
In Elvish?
In Elvish, yeah.
Or Sindarin, or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Little poems stuck on the back.
It's probably, I don't know if his price has gone up. I'm going to assume it has. It was $500 when I got it. It's probably between $600 and $700, I would guess now. Probably
it's $400 now,
folks.
There you go.
It's so affordable.
We have conveniently put a link on the voting page for you to order. So just click learn more and buy, and you can get it.
Oh my gosh.
Get it on sale.
It's really cool.
It's $399, and this is another great time to mention that Tea with Tolkien's book is now on sale, and she gets a piece of every sale.
How many books do I have to sell so I can get this book?
That's it.
It's really fabulous. Cool. It's definitely one of those pieces. I think if you just want to have something that is kind of like Tolkien centric versus like maybe related to the films, this is the one thing I would tell anybody that likes Middle Earth to go get, simply because you could just like the books and never have seen the movies, have this, and it would be like having something that's just tied to the books. It's that level of a collectible. It's not film centric.
I feel like Tolkien would like adore this too.
Yes,
like, he would probably just love it.
When I had the chance, I sold some stuff like I said, I've had mine for 15 years. I specifically sold non-Lord of the Rings stuff because I had a friend of mine that got a copy, showed me theirs, and I was like, "What year now?" I'm like, "I need to get this."
I need to.
So I sold a bunch of stuff so I could purposely buy this because it's that level of an item to me.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It's Arkenstone level.
Yes,
it belongs in a museum.
Yeah, how we're voting for this. What?
Yeah, this is way too close for comfort, folks. This is
crazy.
This is nearly half and half for United Coloring. Make some great stuff.
Yeah.
But come on, we're talking about the Red Book. Like,
exactly.
That's so cool.
Moving on. There's two interesting things here. Another Weta piece. It's a small piece. It's an affordable piece. They've done several keys. So the key to Erebor's one. They've done a bag end key, which is cool. They've done an Elven Thranduil's Hall kind of a key. So this is one of them. Stansborough Mill are the folks in New Zealand, in Wellington, that were the weavers for all of the films. And you can either online, or if you visit Wellington, you can go to their mill, and they are still making the original woven fabric, also on these really antique weaving machines, looms, and you can buy yourself. You can get yourself.
That's incredible, right there. Like the fact that this is made from the looms that made the costumes for the movies. Yep. I mean, you don't get any more close.
It's authentic.
Yeah, authentic than that.
Yeah. It's like the Jen Hansen ring as well. So you got.
And again, this is way too close than I would have expected. So every vote matters right now for these matchups.
Close matchups are fun.
All right, we got Middle Earth coins from our
Yep.
friends at Shire Post, and we bring those to Comic-Con every year. They sell very well. They look
Yeah, they're
great.
super cool.
And versus Weather Workshop Rivendell.
How big is this now?
Which
It's like
one?
so hard to
Rivendell?
tell from the picture. Do you have
It's
that one too?
it's actually one of those pieces. It's
Over there.
much wider and than it is tall.
Oh yeah.
Buildings are actually small.
Yeah, they're small.
It's,
Yeah.
Where
a
are we
huge
looking?
space.
Point your finger
so,
what I'm supposed to be looking
it's-
at.
Is it between the
Right.
horses?
Yeah, it's between Arwen and the Black
Oh
Rat.
yeah.
That's my wife.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, Vanna White's been there the whole time?
She has been. She has been.
Oh my gosh, we need to get more Vanna
Because she
White.
loves Toy Tuesday so much. That's probably right. Less of me.
That so it's not huge.
Well,
No,
it
it's,
isn't. It's not. It's much the width of it is what makes it eat up so much space in like a display, because the base is probably, I don't know, 18 inches wide by probably same length. I mean, it's like small coffee table size.
Yeah, it's like 20 inches long
Yeah, it's insane.
and about 14, 15 inches wide. It's a big
Yeah.
oval.
Yeah, where are you leaning on this category?
Oh, I'm going.
Of course, T.
I'm gonna go with the coins just because they're like kind of neat how there's like so many different kinds and like I have a couple.
I agree. I'm going with
The
coins.
coins are really cool. I mean, you can get all kinds
Yeah.
of different versions of them.
And they
And
have the
got
wax
Hobbit eating
seals
leaf
too. Oh yeah, I
coin.
have one of those. It's like a necklace.
And those
Yeah.
are always
Version
quite
of it.
popular at Comic-Con and
Yeah.
Urban, because you can buy those and put them in your backpack and get them home without having to. You don't need
Yeah.
a coffee. I have the Rivendell piece, so I mean, obviously, I would vote for that. But
The coins are
you don't need a
losing
coffee table for the coin.
the 70,
Oh no, they're losing.
70 to 30%.
Yeah.
The coins are losing. I can't stress enough how cool Shire Post Mint coins are. But the votes will decide. All right, moving on.
Rivendell.
I do love Badali Jewelry's Arkenstone. I've held it
So
in
do
my
I.
hand. It refracts light so incredibly. It's
cool.
heavy.
Yeah. They
It's
put a
well
mirror on
made.
one of the sides of it, so it does reflect light all throughout the piece.
Yes. Oh, look, there's Josh. He's got
got
his
his.
Comes in a
magical
little
dwarf box.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
And
That's
it's a different realization than the Hobbit movie Arkenstone, which is sort of oval and
Yeah, look at
gotta
how the
look-
light
Yeah.
reflects
Iridescent.
on. Yeah, look at
So
that.
pretty, yeah.
It's so cool.
I mean, you can see why the dragon and Thorin and everybody else was obsessed with it. Like it really is something special.
Yeah, you better lock
It's
your
an
doors,
Arkenstone for
Josh.
your
That is that,
Arkenstone.
and to tell you, in some ways, to how cool Badali's Arkansas piece is. I mean, most of you guys knew my dad pretty well from all the years he came to Comic-Con. That's one of the few Lord of the Rings pieces my dad ever bought at Comic-Con. So that one is actually his. Mine's
Wow.
downstairs in the collection room. So that one's actually my dad's.
That was your
Yeah.
inheritance, the Arkenstone, just like
the
Thorin
Arkenstone.
Oakenshield.
I'm retiring tomorrow, baby.
Because they usually have a booth at Comic Con, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
like you
Yeah,
it's
Badali
cool to
does,
check out
yeah.
all their stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus the File of Galadriel. Anyone want to defend that one? I mean, it is you know what you get in there.
Yeah, there's been a couple of versions. I think Noble had one that was just basically a piece of plastic or
And I think
a vial. This
think
one,
they
this
put
one is
stuff
you can put
in
stuff
there
in
and
and it lights up
That's
from
cool.
the base.
Yeah.
The
So-
File of Galadriel's winning by
Wow.
91%.
Oh, they're missing out. These people are missing out entirely. Oh my gosh.
And I chalk that up to really poor photography on the Arkenstone. I did try to find a really good photo of the Arkenstone, and it just doesn't exist on Badali's website or anywhere. Because
Maybe
It's
Josh
hard
can
to-
take a
it's
nice
hard to
lit
photo.
photograph of his and replace it with a nice photo.
it is a beautiful piece. All right, our final matchup for this third region.
Yeah.
Evan Star versus the glowing sting from Master
Yeah.
Replica.
Even Star Pendant will probably win because it's such
very
a
familiar, yeah.
popular item.
Yeah.
Everybody I know wears it. Every Renaissance fair, every Comic-Con, and even little gatherings that we have, everyone is wearing those Even Stars. Everyone.
Question for the group: do you think we're gonna see the creation of Evenstar in the Hunt for Gollum?
I think that would be taking the story too far afield from the core. We'll see, but I doubt it.
House of Moths in the YouTube chat is asking, where do we vote again?
The link should be in the YouTube description. It's MEMM.OneRing, ONER.ing. I will put
Yes.
the link in the chat for everybody to check it out. And voting is open to all. So please share it on your Facebook page.
Yes, indeed.
Share it everywhere, because the more votes, the better.
Absolutely.
Got it. There's that
And the Master's
one.
replica actually glows blue, so that's cool.
Is there a typo in that link that you sent, Justin? 1r.ing.
No, literally, that's the we were able to get that domain. One Ring, literally .ing. That's our domain now.
That's
And there it
funny.
is. Okay, wow, it's working. Fabulous.
All right, that's the last matchup for this bracket. Are you guys good for the last bracket? And
Heading
we're
to the final region. We might as well knock it off.
And we're gonna cut 5 seconds off of the time, so 25 seconds per.
You better.
All right, let's go.
Lego Rivendell. Lego Rivendell versus those wonderful King's Wild playing cards. We interviewed that gentleman. He was a great artist to talk with.
Oh, Jackson is so good. He's done so many good cards, and he's just a wonderful guy. This one's tough for me, guys, because although the Lego Rivendell was an incredible piece set, I really like these playing cards, and I got a deck of cards literally right here in my hand.
You have those at Comic-Con usually, right? I remember like setting them out on the booth.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So that's a full sheet. You can buy full sheets of his cards. They're all of his art, and they're really cool. And they're themed. You can get Fellowship, Two Towers.
Oh, he sells just the whole uncut sheet.
You can get an uncut sheet.
Well, that's really cool, actually.
You know, so the face cards and the aces are special. And they're very neat. They're very neat.
I would instinctually go for his cards because I know that Lego Rivendell is impossibly popular. So let's see. What are the votes so far?
Yeah, and Lego Rivendell is an amazing piece.
Those Lego sets are awesome, but holy crap,
well, 67 to 33%. It's we have a competition, folks.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, they're both pretty cool. It's
this is the one Lego piece that we picked. They've got an amazing Barad-dûr. That's a recent release. They've got an amazing Shire Bag End that includes
Minas Tirith that's coming out too.
And Minas Tirith isn't out yet, but apparently it's going to come. And I'm completely out of space, but we'll be buying it anyway. And so all
right, now we got some good stuff. The Funko Pop Escape from the Road. Again, there's our Dark Rider on the Dark Horse. We do like black horses. Versus Lord of the Rings Trivial Pursuit Edition, which I also have. So I think I own both of these. What should I vote for here?
That's cute. Yours is signed.
I just got these signed by the 4 hobbits.
Oh,
are you
fabulous!
Kidding me,
the box
Jim?
And everything. That's really cute.
That's great.
Was that at MegaCon this weekend?
Yep. This was we bought the Hobbit backstage deal, and it came with some signatures. So.
It's super cool.
Incredible.
All right, our 60 seconds is up. So who are you going to vote for? I would vote for the Trivial Pursuit Trilogy Edition. Why? Because one of the answers.
Always win, right?
Well, no, not at all. One of the answers to one of the questions is the OneRing.net. It's us. We're actually in that Trivial Pursuit game. That's why I would vote for that.
Well, there you go.
You guys are making it hard for me to vote on this one.
Wait, you're in the game?
Yeah, one of the answers. Name the popular fan website, blah, blah, blah. And the answer is the OneRing.net. So,
that's cute.
We're actually in the game. So, believe it or not,
we will put in the good word. If they do an updated version of this, we will put in the good word for you.
Okay, all right, here we go.
I'm not going to be in the game.
And the vote, oh, wow, the vote is overwhelmingly for Trivial Pursuit.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
All right, we got our friends at Geek Orthodox, who I hope is coming back with us to Comic-Con this year, versus the Citadel Lord of the Rings miniatures. Can someone tell me what Citadel is?
Are those like the Games Workshop pieces where like they're come unpainted? I'm assuming they're like they're little tiny figures that you have to.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And
but you can drill down and check it out. But I think you're right, Josh.
And unless you're really artistic, I stay away from those kinds of things just because I don't have the ability to pull those.
Princess Toy Nerd has got to take off, and we're in the middle of the toy section. I'm sorry to see you go, Toy Nerd, but thanks for sticking with us this whole time. Emily Cheatham is in the UK, and it is like 3 a.m. there, so thanks for staying up.
Oh my
with us.
gosh, such dedication.
I got to say about Geek Orthodox, we talked about the Pop Insider winners. There were 3 at the front end of the show that we've mentioned.
Yeah.
The high end one was the Weta Fellowship new collectible. This is the 3rd one. So Geek Orthodox won the underdog category, and they're amazing. That you can get real stained glass, mostly at a very affordable price. You can get window clings that look like stained glass, and the designs are amazing. There was
a lady at Comic-Con last year that showed me a picture of her home, and she had the window clings on one of the, and I could not tell you. She had to go, no, those are the clings, because I could not tell from the photo that they were not actual stained glass. It was pretty impressive, actually.
Well, if you're into figure painting and Warhammer and all that stuff, you are really into it, and this is a no-brainer. But as you've heard from everybody here, the stained glass is so cool, and it is dominating the votes right now with 89%, because
wow,
Geek Orthodox really is doing something special. All right. Next up, we got the Toy Biz Talking Treebeard. Someone explain that more. Versus the Tolkien Enterprises chess sets.
Well, I had a lot of Toy Biz action figures. I even have the little, Gollum. The Gollum that you press the button and it says, "My precious." And there's a little Samwise, and I got it signed by Sean Astin. And there's a little Gandalf figure too. I got it signed by Ian McKellen. But they made a big Treebeard toy that matched the scale of their action figures. And that Treebeard toy is unique in it's similar to the Gollum figure. You can press the button and hear wonderful phrases from John Rhys Davies, and it's really cool. However, I have not seen this particular. If I'm not mistaken, these Tolkien Enterprises chess pieces are all Ralph Bakshi character designs, all of them, right?
Are they?
Yes, they are. They're all Ralph Bakshi designs.
Yeah, which is
very
different.
Specific. Very specifically.
The Noble collection had another chess set, which was more attuned with the Jackson movies.
Wow. All right. That chess set sells for 110 on eBay. This Talking Treebeard, question for the group. John Rhys Davies has been at a convention at MegaCon this weekend and mentioned that he had been talking with the producers of The Hunt for Gollum and working out schedules. The question for the group is John Rhys Davies coming back as Gimli in The Hunt for Gollum, or would he be coming back as Treebeard's voice?
It could be either or both, because the thing about Hunt for Gollum is the range of characters and locations is really broad. There are going to be a lot of choices they'll have to make to figure out what story they're going to tell. But yeah, it's completely possible for them to be going up into Mirkwood and into Fangorn, and so Treebeard could come in, and who knows? We could see an Ereborish connection with Gloin's son Gimli in there in the mix somewhere. So
I don't necessarily need Gimli in my Lord of the Rings prequel movie at this point, but Treebeard would be interesting.
Yeah. I would expect more Treebeard than Gimli, I think.
Fair enough. All right.
Next one.
Next one is wow, that's a 50-50 matchup.
That's crazy.
Quite a split.
We got Lord of the Rings Monopoly versus the Pez
Pez.
limited edition gift set. Now, this is a tough one for me.
We had to throw in Pez. There are some really cool Pez figures.
I have this Pez set.
As I say, I think I've got that
Yep.
set in place.
I do
My
too.
kids tried
I
to
have
open it and eat the candy, and I was like, no, the candy is so old.
That's like the gum in old baseball cards. That stuff will kill you.
I know. I was like,
Oh,
please,
yeah.
please.
Do you know
no,
what?
no.
The other limited edition Pez that I have has the Tower of Barad-dûr with the flaming cat's eye on top of it as a
cool.
Pez dispenser. It's really
That's so
quite
funny.
different from the one we're looking at now. Has a different set of characters than one I
Yeah,
have.
yeah, they had several different.
Hey, chat room, what are you voting for? Lord of the Rings Monopoly or the Pez dispensers?
The Monopoly, I mean, it's a classic. It's fun because you can, like, with the Pez, you can't do anything with them. You just look at them in the box, but you can play the game.
I mean, it's like a bobblehead. Like, it's a fidget. It's my little fidget spinner. The Pez things, like, I just like
But I
snapping
feel like
their
you're
head.
supposed to keep them in the box, like.
Yeah. But
if you're
Pez in
watching-
general, there are all kinds of different fandoms that are represented by Pez. I mean, it's why are Funko Pops so popular? I mean, it's just a piece of plastic you sit on your shelf. So
I like the Pez because they're fidget spinners for me.
There you
but,
go. 70% for Monopoly. How about that?
All right.
Okay.
early returns.
Wow.
Early returns. The night is long.
Look at these old buttons. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we got the
From the
Stern
60s.
Lord of the Rings pinball machine with a Balrog that lights up and screams at you versus vintage 1960s pin buttons that say Frodo lives. Anyone want to take a guess
Other things.
how much those buttons go for on eBay?
Hundreds of dollars,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
They're really cool.
I don't know if it's high hundred.
65.
$65.
Oh, okay.
And they are rusty as all get out.
I
do
mean,
not
it'd be
want-
pretty
You're gonna
easy,
need a
like,
tetanus shot. You mess
to
with
make
that one. Holy cow.
yourself like a copy, if you really.
I
wanted
remember
one.
the Frodo Lives era back from the 60s.
A
early
couple of years ago
70s.
at Comic-Con, there was a booth that had pinball that you could play in there and walk
You
around.
could?
The one they had was the Lord of the Rings pinball one. It's really cool. I
Yeah.
watched them play it and
Iconic.
light up and stuff. was
It
pretty
is
sweet.
sold out. You can't buy it. I believe
Can't buy
the original asking price was $15,000.
Oh
It was
my
one of the
God.
most popular pinball games of the early aughts,
my
as
goodness.
they say.
Yep.
Yes.
Every pinball arcade of its weight would have one of these. It was a very successful pinball cabinet, and that and had video clips play on the LCD screen. It was pretty cool. So you got $15,000 pinball machine versus $65 vintage buttons from the
I never owned a
1960s.
pinball machine.
Yeah. Fun.
Wild.
Good thing is your vote doesn't cost you anything. So vote with your heart and move on.
Unless you
All
see
right.
something you've got to
Let's
have, in
finish
which
up.
case it would cost you a lot.
All right,
What
we
is
got-
this?
We got the Lord of the
porcelain
Rings
gal-
trading cards with costume fabric. Someone's gonna have to explain that
Oh,
to me
yeah,
versus
yeah.
porcelain
Wow.
Galadriel doll.
So the card, the top, they're from Tops. That particular one is. There's been some others that have done since then, but basically, it captures a scene with the character, and then they've
It's
taken
thick.
a small piece of fabric that was used to make the outfits for the films and put it on the card. I mean, they do them they do it like with sports cards too. They'll take like LeBron James jersey that he wore in a game. Fanatics or whoever owns a card company, they'll cut it up and put it on cards, have him sign it, blah blah blah.
Pause.
So it's
As
saved
a
from
Los
the top.
Angeles person, don't ever
Yeah.
compare LeBron to Elrond, Half Elven.
No, I
Oh,
like Elrond much
gosh.
better. I was just using that to kind of as an analogy. Just that's all.
I have one of these cards, and it's a Nazgul, and it has like a little
Oh,
piece
really?
of the
Black.
Nazgul cloak on it. Yeah.
Mm.
My
Oh, that's
neighbor
cool.
used to like sell collectibles on eBay, and he was like, "Hey, I heard you
Cool.
like Lord of the Rings. Here's the thing." I was like, "Oh, thanks."
Sure. Josh, it should not surprise you that I have all of the Samwise costume cards.
Holy smokes, they're $85?
Wow.
Like, well, this is aftermarket, so it wasn't that much when they were first coming out with it.
How
but
much
it
are the
was-
Nazgul?
I don't know. I never looked it up.
Tops
Yeah.
Nazgul. Artist sketch. What would it be
Yeah.
called?
You probably have
Cloth?
to search like card. Yeah. Yeah,
Costume,
mine's like that one.
everything.
You just
$245? Oh,
Yeah, some of those are like art.
PSA
They're
9.
art. Yeah.
Yeah, mine's like the little plastic thing, graded and whatever, but I don't know. I just have it.
No,
I'm not selling
that
it.
guy's a real eBayer.
You have to probably put fabric in there. They put the word fabric or something in there, and you'd have to
Yeah.
your search.
All right, what's up
yeah.
with this porcelain Galadriel doll that's going to kill me in my sleep?
Yeah, she's a
I
little
saw
scary.
that movie.
But Galadriel is scary, so.
Franklin Mint heirloom
Oh, okay.
porcelain
Franklin
doll.
Mint.
Okay. Now we're
Wow.
getting
Cool.
somewhere.
Didn't Mattel Barbie make an Aragorn and
Mhm.
Yeah.
They did.
And
My friend has a set at the his vintage store in North Hollywood.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow, porcelain Galadriel. All right, our final matchup.
But you toss vintage in, Cliff, and you raise the price automatically. So
That's right. Yes, indeed.
We got the Burger
Last
King
one.
goblet set versus the Hobbiton movie set Green Dragon mug.
pick your mug of choice. Cheap.
I have
I
Not
like
the
the
on-
Burger
mugs
King
here.
goblets.
okay.
I have like 6 of the Burger King goblets.
Yeah,
I've got
mine
all
light
4.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I broke one. I broke one, so I have 3.5.
And that is indeed the mug you can get from the Hobbiton movie set. That Green Dragon mug, you can take it to the Green Dragon and buy yourself a pint.
That's cool.
That's fun. Yeah, it takes a bunch to get there. So I would definitely vote for the goblets though, because I have such
You can order
memories.
them and they deliver them through the mail to your
All right,
door.
that's the last
Oh,
matchup,
that's nice.
which means
That's it.
that's our entire bracket. Is those are all the matchups that you get to choose or vote on. The voting is for the next few days. I think we're keeping it open. What, like 3 or 4 or 5 days or something like that, Jim?
I forget. We had picked the date. I was hoping you'd remember. Let me see if I can look it up.
24th through 28th. So yeah, so 4 days we're gonna keep the voting open. Again, let me paste the link to vote.
Wowzer.
I've hopefully you can only vote once. You wouldn't want to open a private browser and vote twice, now would you? But anyone can open. You don't need to be registered. You don't need to have an account. We've made it as easy as possible for everybody to vote. So please just share this link, this mem.one.ring, and share it on all your socials. Get everybody to vote, because as you saw from this conversation tonight, some of these things just trigger some memories that some of us don't even have.
Well, it helps to be old, I guess, in this equation.
Helps to be old.
It'll be fascinating. You already saw with the voting that just the spot voting already. Very close matchups. Some weren't so
Yes.
much, but it's early. So like we've seen in past years, it could swing a lot. Who knows who's going to come out? I don't think there's any
That's why it's
slam
important.
dunk winners.
To start this, I'm very curious to see what the broader breadth of people that vote on this, with how we voted as a staff to come up with these, and that what wins, what loses based on, because like I said, if it was me looking at it from the staff vote, I would have expected more of the statues to do much better in the category that they ended up in, and there's actually fewer of them than I thought there would be. So I'm very curious to see what the people that visit the site and check our content out continuously think of all the various things that are out there.
How many things did you see, Caitlin, that are must-haves for your study?
Only that red book. That's all I want in life now. I
all
have,
you
I have everything else that I need in life,
all
and that's all I want.
Well, T wants the red book, and I want you to buy T's book, which is now
There you go.
available.
Which is not red, is blue.
That's it.
Cliff, you have a copy of it. Hold it up for the camera.
Into the heart of Middle Earth. Everybody gather round the campfire while Caitlin pulls out her guitar and sings you a wonderful song. This is such a good, it's a good journey. It's really thoughtful. It's very spiritual, and you're going to get something out of it, very much so, from whatever walk of life you're from, whatever your background is, whether you're Muslim or Buddhist or somewhere agnostic in between, you're going to discover such good connections between Tolkien and his spiritual journey and how it applies for us as well. Great stuff, Caitlin. Well done. Well
And it
done.
has nothing to
you.
do with Into the Heart of the Ocean, the Chris Evans movie that nobody saw.
What?
What? Are you mean The Heart of Tafiti? Are you talking about the new live action Moana?
Moana.
What?
Did you
There's
say The
live
Heart of
action
Te Fiti?
Moana?
Wasn't it Chris Hemsworth that was in that movie? Not.
Oh, you're right. I got the Chris's mixed up.
The
Actually,
Heart of
It's
Tafiti.
actually a good movie if you've seen.
I haven't even heard of it.
It's actually really good. It's based-
Everyone
it's,
thought I was making a joke, so thanks, Josh, for confirming that this was a real movie.
It is a real movie. I watched it
If
here.
it's not The Lord of the Rings, I'm not interested.
It's actually really good.
And
It's,
that's our show for this evening.
No, I'm just getting that one in.
Yeah. Well,
You guys,
well, I
wonderful
wanna-
show.
Yes, I want to thank everybody for staying so late with us on this extra long special live stream going over the collectibles 2026 edition of Middle Earth March Madness. Again, you can vote for the next 4 days. Of course, thank you to Kelly Rice, the author of Middle Earth Script to Screen. This thing is 50 pounds, which is getting re-released, and her name is actually going to be on the cover now. KM Rice is going to be on the
good.
cover on the new version. I believe I believe it comes out this week, actually. So look
Oh,
for
good.
Middle Earth
I gotta give it-
Nice.
Script
Good.
to Screen, and of course,
It's impossible to find otherwise, so I'm glad it's getting
Yeah.
reprinted. Yeah, that's great.
I
Super
don't know
good.
if I want to bring all the copies of that to Comic-Con because they're so darn heavy.
Yeah.
But
Ooh, yeah.
hopefully, if we do, Kelly Rice will be there to sign it along with some
Yes.
Weta folks.
Yes.
And T, again, congrats on your book. Congrats on all the success. I'm just so happy to see you find ever more ways to connect with the fans and bring joy to our lives and teach through example on how to live a better life through Tolkien. I just love you.
Me too. It's so lovely to have an injection of new blood into the fandom because we're getting a little long in the tooth, me and Justin. You know, Jim has a magic portrait in his attic and he's not aging at all. And,
Yeah.
you know, Josh, Elisar, you are also evergreen and ageless. But now it's just, you know, I'm just saying, we've been doing this for a minute and it is so lovely to have the community expand and to be all encompassed in this umbrella because we all love the worlds and the works of J.R.R. Tolkien. Love it. It's great to have you.
And
Thank
we
you.
promised Discord a leak. So T, we're really privileged to have you here to provide this exclusive look. According to leakers in our Discord, this picture at the top left corner,
Who
that
is this supposed to be?
it might even be Anarion.
He looks so
What?
blonde though, doesn't he?
Who is that? Is
So
that
let's
Jamie?
give credit to the leaker, shall we, Justin?
Is it Jamie Campbell Bower's character? Who is that?
Okay, so the leaker named Khalil posted
His
this.
name's right on the screen there.
I know. I just want to make, because Justin sometimes doesn't give credit to the leakers. This was a leaked set photo of, I think, what's supposed to be a Numenorian camp. I personally don't have any special knowledge. Justin keeps telling everyone I do, and I don't. I think some people think this could be Anarion because his costuming is different than the others in the set, but he looks so blonde, and I just didn't imagine that Anarion would be blonde. I don't know why Jamie Campbell Bower's character would be on this set. If
yeah.
that's who you think it is, but I honestly, it's probably just like a random soldier.
But that's the fun about leaks. We
Yeah,
make
who knows?
mountains out of anthills.
Who knows? Who do you think it is, Justin?
Yes.
I hope it's a Narion. I've yet to meet the guy.
Yeah.
Seems important to the story. I'm
I would
told.
think
I
we'd
wouldn't
meet
know.
him eventually.
People who've read some books tell me that Anarion is a known guy with a thing to do, a big thing to do.
He's got some stuff to do before something else happens to him.
Yeah. Yeah, there's important historical events in Middle-earth that we're talking about. But hey, it's been quite a long show. Maybe we should say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
Good night. Thank you. Jim's with me. He's on it. It's happening. You guys, take a look at Ave Maria Press, and there you can find your copy of Into the Heart of Middle-earth by Tea with Tolkien, Caitlin Fascista, and you can find it right there. It is super affordable and a lovely addition to your Tolkien collection. I want to say thank you, Josh, for working so hard over the years for creating our article series Collecting the Precious. And it's so good to have you here with your expertise. Jim, your exceptional wit and wisdom is always welcome. It's so great to have you with us as well here today.
And congrats, Jim, for having
Yes.
Sean Astin
Sure.
himself
Yes.
serve you muffins.
Bagels. Yeah. Croissant.
Croissant.
It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. It's been a great show. We've had a wonderful audience with us tonight. Thanks everyone for joining us live. Follow us on the interwebs. We're at the One Ring Net. Take out the dot, and that's where you'll find us on Blue Sky and Instagram. And our real webpage, put the dot back in, theonering.net, and look at our wonderful articles and stories there. Next week, we'll be back right here on Torn Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time for yet another crazy episode of Torn Tuesday. It's going to be bonkers, but we'll do our very best to
And
bring
y'all
you
enjoy
news.
Tolkien reading
gossip.
day tomorrow, right?
Yes,
like,
a big Tolkien reading day tomorrow.
Read some Tolkien.
Read some
Read it.
Tolkien. Does that feel that it was
I'm looking
directed
at all of
me?
you. It was directed at you.
It is. Tomorrow we
It's tricky.
commemorate the exact date on the calendar when the One Ring was destroyed. That's why it is Tolkien reading day tomorrow. So the end of Sauron's dominion in Middle-earth and the beginning of all wonderful things and the rule of King Telcontar. King Elisar, the Telcontar, yes, King Elisar. So anyways, come join us next week. Follow me on Blue Sky and Instagram at QuickBeam2000. Otherwise, join us again next Tuesday for another exciting episode of Torn Tuesday. Until then, good night and good luck. Thank you for being with us on this long haul. It's been an amazing March Madness introduction. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you at WonderCon this weekend. And so I say good night and good luck, and usually, buenos noches y buena suerte. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.